Up in the beautiful paradise valley by the side of the river of life. Up in the valley, the wonderful valley will be free from all pain and all strife. Then we shall live in the rose-tinted garden, neath the shade of the evergreen tree. How I long for the paradise valley, where the beauty of heaven I'll see.
Our topic for this morning, Scriptural act of giving, or what you call sacrificial giving. Yes. Our texts are taken from 2 Samuel 24, verse 24. And Mark chapter 12, verse 14. And 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 1 to 5. Let's only read 2 Samuel 24, verse 24. Yes.
Unto my founders, nay, but I will surely buy it of thee by price. Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God, for that which does cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for each of those of silver.
Thank you. In every age or dispensation, men have been taught to give sacrificially to God. Right from the beginning, God has been giving instruction and He has taught men to give sacrificially. We saw the instruction or the giving of Cain and Abel in Genesis chapter 4, verses 4 to 5. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat unto the Lord. I want us to note that statement, that Abel brought firstborn of his flock and of their fat unto the Lord. That is where sacrificial giving began. He brought the best unto the Lord. And in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4, because he brought the best unto God, God looked unto what he brought and he accepted it. In fact, it was referred to as an excellent giving or sacrifice unto God. Right? That is the beginning of sacrificial giving. We saw another man under the patriarchal dispensation, Genesis 22, verse 2. Yes, God told Abraham, take now your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering. Let's look at that.
Jẹ́ kí a wo eléyìí.
Here was someone who had been looking for a child for
Eléyìí ni ẹni tí
over 100 years.
ó ti ń wá ọmọ fún ìwọ̀n 100 ọdún sẹ́yìn.
And now, God gave him just one child.
Ọlọ́run wá fún ní ọmọ kan ṣoṣo.
And this child grew up
Ọmọ yìí dàgbà
beautiful to behold.
tí ó sì dàgbà dáradára.
The parents, they were happy.
Inú àwọn òbí rẹ̀ sì dùn jọjọ.
Just one.
Ẹyọ kan ní
What happened?
ìwà ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀.
God now called unto him.
Ọlọ́run wá pè é.
Take that one child of yours
Ó ní ọmọ rẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo yóò yá mú
and go and sacrifice him unto me.
lọ pa fún mi kí òbí rúbọ fún mi.
If you are the one, what would you
Tó bá jẹ́ ìrìnkílẹ̀ ṣe.
sacrificial?
Eléyìí gangan ni ìrúbọ.
Will you listen to God?
Jẹ́ ó tẹ̀sí Ọlọ́run bí?
Won't you tell God, why did you give it to me in the
Ṣé àwọn
first
onídìí
place?
Ọlọ́run pé kí wá lọ wá fún mi lọ́mọ yìí fún?
But what did Abraham do? What did he do?
Abraham ṣe.
In Hebrews chapter 11, verse 17,
Nínú ìwé Hébérù orí 11 ẹsẹ̀ 17.
by faith, Abraham, when he was tested, offered up Isaac, and he who had received the promises offered up his only begotten son.
Nígbà ìgbàgbọ́ ni Abrahamu nígbà tí a dán wò fi Ísákì rúbọ, ẹni tí ó sì ti fi ayọ̀ gba ìlérí wọn nì fi ọmọ bíbí rẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo rúbọ.
Sacrificial giving.
Ìrúbọ ti ìfifún.
He did not look at that child,
Ó wo ọmọ yìí.
but he looked unto God who gave it to him,
Ó wo Ọlọ́run tí ó fún ní ọmọ yìí gangan.
that he can multiply that child for him.
Wípé ó tún lè pèsè irú ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó pọ̀ fún òun.
And that is exactly what God did.
Ohun tí Ọlọ́run ṣe ní eléyìí.
Because you have done this,
Nítorí ó ti ṣe eléyìí.
look at the sky,
Ó ní wo ojú òfurufú.
look at the stars.
Ó ní wo ìràwọ̀.
Can you number them?
Ǹjẹ́ o lè kà wọ́n bí?
Look at the sand of the sea.
Ó ní ṣé o lè wo iyanrìn òkun?
Can you number them?
Ǹjẹ́ o lè kà wọ́n?
So your children shall be.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni irú àwọn ọmọ rẹ yóò ṣe rí.
Because you have sacrificed your only son unto me.
Nítorí o ti fi ọmọ rẹ kan ṣoṣo, o ti fi rúbọ fún mi.
Sacrificial giving.
Ìrúbọ ti ìfifúnni.
It is given by faith.
Ó jẹ́ ìfifún nípa ìgbàgbọ́.
You look beyond the present.
Ó gbójú wò kọjá àkókò náà.
Sacrificial giving.
Eléyìí jẹ́ ìfifúnni ti ìgbàgbọ́.
In the Mosaic dispensation,
Ní àkókò sáà ti Mósè,
God commanded the Israelites also to give sacrificially unto him.
Ọlọ́run tún pàṣẹ fún àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì bákan náà kí wọ́n ṣe ìfifún nípa ìrúbọ fún òun.
He gave them the law of tithing.
Ọlọ́run fún wọn ní òfin ìdámẹ́wàá.
According to Leviticus chapter 27, verses 30 to 34.
Ìwé Lífítíkù orí kẹtàdínlọ́gbọ̀n ẹsẹ̀ ọgbọ̀n títí dé ìkẹrìndínlọ́gbọ̀n.
By the end of that chapter,
Nígbà tí a ó bá ka orí ẹsẹ̀ wúrà yìí désàlẹ̀
that's verse 34,
ní ẹsẹ̀
you
ìkẹrìndínlọ́gbọ̀n.
will see it says, these are the law that God gave to the children of Israel through the hand of Moses on Mount Sinai.
Eléyìí ni àwọn òfin tí Ọlọ́run fi fún Mósè tó fi fún ẹ̀ ní orí òkè Sinai.
They are to give tithes unto the Lord.
Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ san ìdámẹ́wàá fún Ọlọ́run.
When you look at this dispensation,
Nígbà tí a bá wo sáà yìí,
we saw at least 5 different types of tithing in the Old Testament.
a ó rí onírúurú ọ̀nà 5 tí wọ́n gbà ṣe ìdámẹ́wàá ní àwọn sáà ní abẹ́ sáà yìí.
The first one is called family tithes.
Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ òun náà ni ìfifún ti ìdámẹ́wàá ti ẹbí jẹ̀bi.
Yes, family tithes.
Ìdámẹ́wàá ẹlẹ́bíjẹbí.
You see that in Deuteronomy chapter 14,
Àwọn ilé inú ìwé Deuteronomy orí 14,
verses 28 to 22 to 27.
láti ẹsẹ̀ 22 títí dé 23.
Every family will have to travel down to Jerusalem to pay their tithes.
Gbogbo ìdílé ni wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ rìnrìn àjò wá sí ìlú Jerusalem láti wá san ìdámẹ́wàá.
And Israelites did it faithfully unto God.
Àwọn Ísírẹ́lì wọ́n sì ṣe eléyìí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìṣọ̀kan.
Sacrificially, they set apart a tenth of their produce and give it unto God.
Nípasẹ̀ ìrúbọ wọ́n pèsè gbogbo ohun tí ó tọ́ sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run láì yọ̀kan sílẹ̀.
Second one is what we call 3 years tithe.
Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì náà ni ìdámẹ́wàá ọdún mẹ́ta.
Yes. You see that in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verses 28 and 29.
Àwọn ilé nínú ìwé Deuteronomy orí kẹrìnlá ẹsẹ̀ ìkejìdínlọ́gbọ̀n ti dé ìkọkàndínlọ́gbọ̀n.
Every family will pack their tithes and put them at the entrance of their house.
Gbogbo ìdílé wọn kó ìdámẹ́wàá ilé wọn ṣọ̀kan, wọ́n sì kó sí ẹnu ọ̀nà ilé wọn.
And 4 categories of people are entitled to take it.
Ìsọ̀rí èèyàn mẹ́rin ni ó láǹfààní láti lè gbé nínú àwọn kan tó bá gbé síta.
Widows,
àwọn opó,
the Levites,
àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì,
strangers,
àwọn
àlejò,
Léfì àti àwọn àlejò,
and the fatherless.
àti àwọn tí kò ní bàbá.
They put them outside.
Wọ́n kó síta.
People will come and pick.
Àwọn èèyàn ó wá, wọ́n sì wá kó.
That's another way to give unto God sacrificially, to take care of the poor.
Ọ̀nà yìí ni ọ̀nà láti lè fi fún Ọlọ́run nípasẹ̀ ìrúbọ láti lè ṣe ìtọ́jú àwọn aláìní.
We are doing it.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe.
The third one
Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta
is what we call Levitical tithes.
òun náà ni ìdámẹ́wàá àwọn ọmọ Léfì.
Yes. Numbers chapter 18, verses 21 down to 24.
Ìwé Númérì orí kejìdínlógún ẹsẹ̀ ìkejìlélọ́gbọ̀n.
God said that people all the tithe in Israel unto the Levites for the work that they do.
Ìwé kan tó ìdámẹ́wàá wọn jọ tó sì kó fún àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì lẹ́yìn fún iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe.
They don't look that the Levites don't work.
Ọ̀hún pé àwọn ọmọ Léfì ò ṣiṣẹ́.
They don't think that we have to work for these people and they have to eat our fruits.
Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ rò wípé àwọn arábí ò níṣẹ́ àwọn àṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn, wọ́n sì tún jẹ́.
But they obey God and give unto the Levite sacrificially.
Wọ́n bọ̀wọ̀ fún Ọlọ́run, wọ́n sì fi ìdámẹ́wàá wọn sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìrúbọ.
The 51.
Eléyìí tí ó jẹ́ ìkarùn-ún.
We talk of Aaronic tithe, the one they give to Aaron, the priest.
Àwọn eléyìí tí wọ́n fún àwọn Áárónì, àwọn olórí àlùfáà.
Yes, you see that in Numbers chapter 18 from verse 26 down to 28.
Àwọn nínú ìwé Númérì orí kejìdínlógún láti ẹsẹ̀ ìkọkàndínlọ́gbọ̀n sí dé ìkejìdínlọ́gbọ̀n.
The Levites, after taking their own tithe, they will give 10th of tithe unto the Aaron.
Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí àwọn ọmọ Léfì tí wọ́n bá mú ìdámẹ́wàá tí wọ́n tán, wọ́n tún á mú ìdámẹ́wàá fún àwọn ọmọ Áárónì.
And they were doing it faithfully.
Wọ́n sì ń ṣe tọkàntọkàn.
The 61.
Eléyìí tó jẹ́ ìkẹfà.
We call it storehouse tithe.
Òun náà ni ìfifún ti ìdámẹ́wàá ti
ilé ìṣúra. Yes. That is exactly the tithe that Malachi mentioned in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Bring all the tithe into my storeroom, that there be meat in my house.
Òun náà ni ìwé Málákì orí kẹta ẹsẹ̀ kẹjọ tí ó sọ pé ẹ kó ìdámẹ́wàá yín wá sí ilé ìṣúra mi kí ohun jíjẹ tí ó sì wà fún ènìyàn fún Ọlọ́run.
You see that in 2 Chronicles 31 from verses 5 to 12.
Àlẹ́ inú ìwé Króníkù kejì orí kọkànlélógún ẹsẹ̀ ìkejìlá.
By King Hezekiah, when they brought all the tithe, is the one who started this storehouse tithing.
Ọba Hezekiah ni ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò ìdámẹ́wàá ti ilé ìṣúra yìí tí ó nígbà tí ó sì kó àwọn ìdámẹ́wàá jọ.
Brought their tithe in abundance faithfully.
Àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì wọ́n kó ìdámẹ́wàá wọn wá pẹ̀lú òtítọ́ ọkàn.
We saw it in Egypt.
Sọ ma pé wọ́n kó ìdámẹ́wàá ilẹ̀ bí èrè sílẹ̀.
It was even surplus.
Tí ó tiẹ̀ wá pọ̀ gan.
Because they gave unto God sacrificially.
Nítorí wọ́n fi fún Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú ọkàn
ìtẹ̀gbọ́. Build storerooms and put the tithes there.
Wọ́n ní láti wá kọ́ ilé ìṣúra léyìí tí wọ́n mọ̀ kó àwọn ilé ìṣọ́ létí
They
wọ́n
also
kọ́ àwọn jẹ̀sí.
appointed storekeeper.
Wọ́n tún gba àwọn ènìyàn láti máa ṣọ́ àwọn ibi tí wọ́n kó
The
jẹ̀sí.
storekeeper, the priest, and their children, they will come to the house of the Lord every day to take their portion.
Léyìí tí àwọn olórí àlùfáà àti àwọn ọmọ wọn ò wá síbẹ̀, wọ́n sì mú oúnjẹ tiwọn lójoojúmọ́ bí ó ti ṣe wù wọ́n.
Look at these ways that God commanded Israel to give, and they were doing it.
Ẹ wo ọ̀nà mẹ́fà tí Ọlọ́run pa láṣẹ fún àwọn ọmọ Ísírẹ́lì láti máa ṣe ìdámẹ́wàá wọn tí wọ́n sì ṣe é.
God has only told us to give once.
Ọlọ́run wá fún wa ní ẹyọ kan péré kí a máa ṣe láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀.
And we are complete.
Àtún ṣàròyé.
Where is our faithfulness?
Kí ni òdodo wa? Ibo ni òdodo wa wà?
In the Christian dispensation,
Ní sáà ti Kristẹni,
we have seen that of the patriarchal dispensation,
àti rí sáà ti àwọn babaláwo,
Mosaic dispensation,
àti sáà ti ìgbà ti Mósè.
now Christian dispensation.
Báyìí ní sáà ti Kristẹni.
Jesus taught that our giving must exceed that of the law.
Lẹ́yìn tí Jésù fi kọ́ wa pé ìfífún wa ó gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe eré kọjá òfin.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 20.
Pè Mátíù orí karùn-ún ẹsẹ̀ ogún.
Except our righteousness exceed that of the scribes and the Pharisees, we cannot make heaven.
Lẹ́yìn tí bí kò bá ṣe pé òdodo wa bá ju ti àwọn Farisí lọ, a ò ní dé ọ̀run.
I now conclude.
Mo wá mú un wá sí ìparí.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 20 should be what we call our stepping board when we talk of giving sacrificially unto God.
Nígbà tí a bá wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìfífún nípa ti ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ fún Ọlọ́run, pé Mátíù orí karùn-ún ẹsẹ̀ ogún òní ó yẹ kó jẹ́ àtẹ̀lé wa.
What do you mean by stepping board?
Ilé ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ ibùdó wa àbí àtẹ̀dó wa.
Some of you are athletes or who have passed through secondary school. There's something we call long jump.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ló jẹ́ pé nígbà tí a wà nílé ìwé, àríwọ̀nàmọ́ tí a pè ní eré ìdárayá ká máa fò.
Right? You have a board that is placed in front of you.
Àwọn òpè pátákó kan sílẹ̀ tí wọ́n pè síwájú wa.
You take your race from a distance.
Ó mọ sáré bọ̀ láti ọ̀kan.
And when you get to that board,
Nígbà tí o bá débi tí pátákó yìí wà.
it is from that board you jump.
So orí pátákó yìí tó ẹni pátákó ni ó ti fò.
All the one that you have been running until you go to that board, they will not count it. They will not
Gbogbo
join it.
eré tí o ti ń sábọ̀ látòkèrè wá kó tó débi pátákó yìí.
They
Kò sí
will
nínú
not
rẹ̀.
take and measure from that board and what you have jumped.
Ìfò rẹ̀ láti ibi pátákó yìí ni wọ́n ti wá ṣe ìwọ̀n rẹ̀ débi tí o bá fò dé.
What of the one that you have been running 100 years to this board?
Gbogbo eléyìí tó ti ń sábọ̀ látòkèrè sí àkó tó dé ibi bọ́ọ̀dù yìí kọ́.
That is how we should understand our giving.
Bí ó ṣe yẹ kí yóò ṣe ìfòkè ìwà nílé.
It then means that if your giving is not up to 110, you have not done what? You have not
Wọ́n
done.
sọ fún wa pé tí ìfífún wa tí ò bá tí tó ti ìwọ̀n yìí, a ò tí ì ṣe kankan.
It is from that 110 you will now jump.
Láti ibi pátákó yìí ni a ti wá fò.
What you give above the 10 is what is now sacrificial given in the New Testament.
Eléyìí tí o bá ṣe ní ibi ìfò yìí, òun ni à ń pè ní ìfífún ti ìrúbọ.
From the account of Abel and Cain,
Láti ìgbà àkọsílẹ̀ ti Káínì àti Ábélì,
the account of Abraham and others,
àti àkọsílẹ̀ Ábúráhámù àti àwọn mìíràn,
it is obvious that God will not just accept any offering that is not sacrificial.
eléyìí túmọ̀ sí pé Ọlọ́run kò ní tẹ́wọ́ gba ìrúbọ kankan tàbí ìfífún kankan tí kì í ṣe ti ìrúbọ.
Each time we give,
Ní ọ̀pọ̀ ìgbà tí a bá ti fífún sílẹ̀,
God is watching.
Ọlọ́run wò wá.
In that Mark chapter 12, verse 41,
Nínú ìwé Máàkù orí kejìlá ẹsẹ̀
it
kọkànlélógójì,
says, as people are given into the treasury,
pé bí àwọn ṣe fi sílẹ̀ fún sínú ìṣúra,
Jesus was washing them.
Jésù Kristi ń wò wọ́n,
He was washing them.
Jésù ń wò wọ́n.
Somebody who fold his hand and there's nothing there
Ẹni
and
tí ó
dip
sọ
it into the sack.
Gbé tí ó gbé sínú àpò ìṣúra nígbà tí a gbé kọjá,
God is what?
tí ó sì sówó nù rẹ̀.
God is
Ọlọ́run
watching.
wò.
Something happened some years back.
Lọ́sẹ̀
They
ní
should,
ọdún
they
sẹ́yìn
should be at offer.
ní ìlú Ọ̀fà.
Someone did not give anything,
Ẹni yẹn ò fi kankan sílẹ̀.
but he wrote, I need a change of 800 naira.
Ó ní ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ gba 800 naira padà nínú owó
That is
kọjá.
why some churches don't allow people to collect change today.
Ìdí nìyí tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìjọ wọn ò fi gbà kí àwọn èèyàn gba change
He
padà.
didn't drop anything, no,
Kò fi kankan sílẹ̀ o.
but he wrote,
Wọ́n sọ pé
change of 800 naira.
mo fẹ́ gba 800 naira padà nínú owó
Who
kọjá.
knows how long he had been collecting it?
Ọlọ́run ló ẹ̀ta ló mọ iye ọdún tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe irú ìwà ìjàmbá
But
yìí.
that very day, nobody gave 1,000.
Lọ́jọ́ ìta wa ń sọ yìí kò tí
That was how it was caught.
Kò sí 1,000 nígbà tá a tún ó ka owó.
So the usher now, he wrote his name at the bottom of it.
Fọ́ọ̀rẹ̀ sísàlẹ̀ ìwé pélébé tó jù sínú ìgbé fún.
So the usher now called, brother, also please come and see the ushers.
Wọ́n bá pè wọ́n pé arákùnrin lágbájá ẹ̀rí wa lẹ́yìn ìsìn.
Please come and pick your 1,000 here.
Wọ́n wá ní kí wọ́n wá gba 1,000 wọn.
There was no 1,000.
Nígbà tí wọ́n wo lẹ́nu owó kò sí 1,000 bẹ́ẹ̀.
He now confessed his atrocities.
Wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jẹ́wọ́ owó ìgbà ibi tí wọ́n ti kù sí.
God is watching you.
Ọlọ́run wò ọ́.
You that does not even give as you are prospered, God is also watching
Ọlọ́run ti
you.
ẹ̀rí sílẹ̀ rárá bí Ọlọ́run ṣe bùkún ọ. Ọlọ́run wò ọ́.
And is still watching us today.
Ó sì ń wò wá sí lónìí.
Proverbs chapter 15 verse 3.
Òwe orí kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún ẹsẹ̀ kẹta.
The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil.
Ojú Olúwa ó wà ní gbogbo, ó sì ń wò wá yálà ní ti rere àti ní ti búburú.
God is the one we offer our giving unto,
Ọlọ́run ni à ń fi ìfún wa fún.
and is the one who will accept or reject our sacrifice.
Òní yóò sì gbà tàbí láti kọ ìfífún wa.
Sacrificial giving must come from the heart
Ìfífún ti ìrúbọ ó gbọ́dọ̀ wá láti ọkàn.
and not from a sense of religious duty or rights.
Kì í ṣe pé láti inú èrò ti ìjọsìn tàbí ẹ̀tọ́.
I want to explain what that means.
Fẹ́ ṣàlàyé òtí lè túmọ̀ sí.
People give as a religious duty or rights.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń ṣe ìfífún látàrí èrò ìjọsìn tàbí pé ẹ̀tọ́ ni.
That is, I must give.
Pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ fi fún ni.
Whether remnant
Bóyá ó tọ́
left
tàbí
over,
bóyá tí ó kù nínú ta náà kù ní ọ̀sẹ̀ náà ni.
I just must give.
Ó ṣàgbọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ wọ́n dúdú kí n fi sínú.
That becomes your religious duty.
Eléyìí túmọ̀ sí nítorí pé mo ṣe nítorí pé ó jẹ́ ẹ̀sìn.
You just come and give just anything.
Ó sì wọ́n pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ kan fi iye tó wù mí sílẹ̀.
No,
Rárá.
our giving must be planned.
Ìjọsìn wa ó gbọ́dọ̀
Planned. Ìdáwọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ di ètò.
ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní ètò.
Yes, not given remnant or left over unto God.
Kì í ṣe tí àjẹkù tàbí ànákù ní àwọn àmọ́ ń bọ̀ wá fún Ọlọ́run.
Some of us, we borrow money from different cooperatives.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ni à ń yáwó ní àwọn agbègbè tí a ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ tàbí ilé
And when you take your cooperative money,
nígbà tí a bá wá gba owó tí a yá yìí,
they have deducted everything.
tí wọ́n ti yọ gbogbo owó wọn sílẹ̀ lẹ́tì wọn.
And you came back home with 2,000.
Wọ́n á fún ọ wá wálé pẹ̀lú 2,000 naira.
Ọlọ́run orí mi o.
You see me, God,
It's not more than 2,000.
kò ju 2,000 ẹgbẹ̀rún méjì náà lọ o.
Then what do I give?
Kí wàá máa fẹ́ fún ọ báyìí?
Then you come to God with 5 naira
Wàá mú náírà márùn-ún
or 10 naira.
àbí náírà mẹ́wàá.
Because you have taken all your money in advance.
Nítorí pé o ti yọ o ti yọ
You
wá láti
have
yọ owó rẹ̀.
mortgaged your salary.
Wọ́n ti yọ owó rẹ̀ níbi tí
There
wọ́n
is
ti
nothing
kàn.
left.
So kò sí nǹkan kan lẹ̀ mọ́.
And with that, you justify yourself.
Pẹ̀lú eléyìí, ẹ̀rí ọkàn rẹ̀ sì dá ọ láre.
No, you are the one justifying
Ìwọ ló wá
yourself.
dára rẹ láre.
Justifying you.
Ọlọ́run ò dá ọ láre lórí eléyìí.
Because what God expects from you,
Nítorí ohun tí Ọlọ́run retí lọ́dọ̀ rẹ.
from what you think,
Nínú ohun tí o ti gbà, owó tí o gbà yìí.
from your salary,
Láti inú owó oṣù rẹ.
from your gain,
Nínú èrè rẹ.
it is there you need to plan.
Orí rẹ
Give
ní
unto
gan.
God.
Ló gbé gbèdéke ilé.
Not
láti fún
until
Ọlọ́run.
you have deducted house rent,
Ìṣègbà tó bá ti yọ owó ilé,
baby
owó náà,
this,
tó ti yọ owó oúnjẹ àwọn ọmọ, owó ilé ìwé àwọn ọmọ tán.
and you now fold your hands.
Tó wá
If you
fọwọ́ rẹ
remember, there's
kí o
nothing
wá
left.
ohun tó kù lẹ́ni Ọlọ́run kó láti fẹ́ pin.
That passage says that if the first fruit is holy, the lump is also holy.
Ẹ̀sìn tí a fẹ́ lò ó túmọ̀ pé bí ìyẹ̀fun bí ó wà ní mímọ́.
Yes.
Pé ìwúkàrà náà yóò wà ní mímọ́.
What I'm saying, what that passage is telling us that
Ohun tí ẹsẹ̀ wúrẹ̀ tó sọ fún wa ni pé
I want us to listen to this.
a fẹ́ kí a tẹ́tí sí eléyìí.
When you take what belongs to God,
Nígbà tí ẹ bá mú eléyìí tí ó tọ́ fún Ọlọ́run,
no matter how painful it is to you,
kò sí bí ó ṣe lè wù kí ó pa ọ́ lára tó.
what the leftover for you is blessed by God.
Ohun tí ó kù sí yín lọ́wọ́ ìbùkún yóò torí rẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run.
When God told the Israelites that he will send the devourer unto them,
Nígbà tí Ọlọ́run sọ pé ó rán kòkòrò ajẹnirun sí àwọn Ísírẹ́lì,
the present today,
ṣé kò sí ṣẹlẹ̀ lónìí?
there are still devourers in the life of many Christians today because they are not faithful in their giving.
Nítorí pé kòkòrò ajẹnirun sì wà láyé àwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì kọ̀ọ̀kan lónìí torí pé wọn ò sòótọ́ pẹ̀lú ìfún wọn.
Just think what you spend your money upon.
Ẹ wo ohun tí ẹ̀ náwó yín lé lórí.
Some sicknesses,
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lórí àárẹ̀,
some police.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lórí pọ́lọ́pàá gbé mi.
Thing you don't even think of
Ohun
at
tẹ́
all.
ti ẹ̀rù, ìjàmbá tẹ́ ẹ̀rù tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀.
Simply because you are not faithful in your giving.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ò ṣòdodo lórí fún yín.
But when you are faithful in your giving and you give what is right unto God, whatever it is left for you is blessed by God.
Nígbà tí ẹ bá ṣòdodo pẹ̀lú ìfifún yín, gbogbo ohun tí ó ń kù, Ọlọ́run yóò fi ìbùkún fún un.
If the first fruit is holy, that is what you are given unto God, if it is due, if it is holy, if it is sacrificial, then the lump is the rest. It is holy.
Nígbà tí o tẹ bá fún Ọlọ́run gbogbo nǹkan tí ẹ bá fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí kan àti ẹ̀mí iná, á rí i pé gbogbo nǹkan tí ó ṣẹ́kù, Ọlọ́run yóò fi ìbùkún sí i.
But when you give sparingly, unfaithfully unto God, the rest are not blessed.
Nígbà tí ẹ bá wá fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìkùnsínú àti láì lóòótọ́, á rí i pé ìyókù kò sí ìbùkún lórí rẹ̀.
Our hearts must be right with God in our giving.
Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ bá Ọlọ́run dọ́gba nínú ìfifún.
Sacrificial giving must be of faith.
Lẹ́yìn tí ìfifún pẹ̀lú ti ìrúbọ, ó gbọ́dọ̀ wá pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìgbàgbọ́.
That widow,
Obìnrin opó yìí
Abraham,
àti Ábúráhámù,
they gave not knowing what tomorrow will look like.
wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ láìwé pé kí ló tún kù fáwọn, kí ló kí ni ọ̀la tún máa ló kù fáwọn lọ́la.
They don't bother about tomorrow.
Wọn ò tiẹ̀ ro tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn lọ́la.
Abraham decided to offer the only child.
Ábúráhámù ó ṣetán láti fi ọmọ rẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo sílẹ̀ láti rúbọ.
That widow offered 2 miles that he had,
Obìnrin opó yìí náà fi owó kan tí ó kù sílẹ̀ ní ọwọ́ rẹ̀.
not knowing what is going to happen to them.
Wọn ò tiẹ̀ ro tí yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn lẹ́gbàá tí wọ́n bá sílẹ̀
But
tán.
they believed that one who created the heaven and earth supplied their needs.
Wọ́n nígbàgbọ́ wípé ẹni tí ó dá ayé àti ọ̀run yóò pèsè fún àwọn lẹ́gbàá tí wọ́n bá wí fún un.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1.
Pé oníwàásù orí kọkànlá ẹsẹ̀ kìíní.
They cast your bread upon the waters and you will see it after many days. How is that possible?
Báwo ni eléyìí ṣe ṣe?
You bought bread,
Nígbà tí a bá ra
big bread,
àkàrà,
and then you go to the water
wá lọ sórí omi,
and you throw the bread water.
wá dà sórí omi.
And somebody say you are going to see it after many days.
Ẹni wá sọ pé lẹ́yìn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọjọ́, ó rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ padà.
Right in your eyes, what happened to that bread?
Lójú yín kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí tẹ́lá sómi yìí, ó jẹ́ tẹ́lá sómi.
It will be soaked and melt and fishing will pick it up.
Omi yóò tí ó sì bàjẹ́ tí ó rà lójú wa.
You will say that person is deceiving you.
A sọ pé ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ ń tàn wá bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
But that is what it offers.
Ohun tí à ń pè ní ìgbàgbọ́ ni eléyìí.
You don't give and be expecting that reward will come immediately.
Ọkùnrin fi fún Ọlọ́run ká rò pé lójú ẹsẹ̀ ẹ ká sì máa rí èrè rẹ̀.
Many of us will say, I want to try.
Ó ní
Maybe after this lesson, I will try.
màá gbìyànjú.
Then be watching. Maybe you gave faithfully first week,
Ó wá fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bó ṣe tọ́ lọ́sẹ̀ yìí.
and that is the time, that is the week he has the plenty of trouble.
Ló wá jẹ́ pé ọ̀sẹ̀ náà gan bọ́lọ́pọ̀ ò gbé bọ́ sọ́wọ́ àwọn tí
Like that.
wọ́n tún mú tán gbà.
This thing does not work. Yo.
Ògbó
Let
dẹ̀
me go back to
ó kàn fi àdéṣeré ni o. Ìgbọ̀dọ̀ tẹ̀síwájú báyìí.
You have to continue.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀síwájú.
That is what that passage is saying.
Ohun tí ẹsẹ̀ wúrà yìí sọ lélẹ́yìí.
That is casting your bread upon the water.
Pé kí o
Let the
kó
water
oúnjẹ
get
rẹ
it away.
sí orí omi kí
Let
omi gbé lọ.
it eat it.
Jẹ́ kí kòkòrò jẹ́.
When the result will begin to flow in, you will not be able to take it.
Nígbà tí èrè rẹ̀ bá dé, yóò ya ìwọ gan lẹ́nu tó
So
lè kà á.
you must be able to give by faith, not even expecting anything back.
Ògùnà lè fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìgbàgbọ́ láì retí ohunkóhun padà.
Yorùbá ní pé àwọn kan tó bá ti ṣoore wọ́n yé kí ni wọ́n á lóṣooṣì. That's the way some of us give unto God.
So Yorùbá wọn á pa òwe pé téèyàn bá ti lọ ṣe wọ́n ṣoore wọ́n tún lọ́sọ̀ọ́ ni.
That
Bí
is what the
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wá ṣe
time
fi fún
for
Ọlọ́run
giving that
lélẹ́yìí.
God wants from us.
Kì í ṣe irú ìdáwó tí Ọlọ́run retí lọ́wọ́ wa lélẹ́yìí.
What you do, you don't expect anything back, but when you begin to reap what you have sowed, you'll be surprised.
Nígbà tí ó bá fi fún, kì í ṣe pé ó fi lẹ́sílẹ̀ láti máa retí padà. Nígbà tí ó bá rí èrè rẹ̀, yóò yà wọ́ gan lẹ́nu.
Look at the widow of Saraphat.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí á wo arábìnrin opó ti Sáráfátì.
In 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 12.
Ìwé àwọn ọba orí kejìlá.
Orí kẹtàdínlógún ẹsẹ̀ kejìlá.
Orí kẹtàdínlógún ẹsẹ̀.
Only what she was left for her to eat and die.
Ohun tí ó kù fún láti jẹ kí ó sì.
But the servant of the Lord told her, do my what? First.
Gan ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run yìí sọ pé kí ó lọ pèsè oúnjẹ fún òun nínú rẹ̀ náà.
Don't bother your expenses.
Má ro tí ò ná.
Don't bother about your problems.
Má wo ti ìṣòro rẹ.
Decide the best for God.
Ṣe ohun tí ó dára tí ó tọ́ fún Ọlọ́run.
Somebody said, when you give with spoon,
Ẹnìkan sọ pé tí o bá fi síbí tí o bá fi ṣèlú fún,
God will return with shovel back to you.
pé Ọlọ́run yóò dá padà fún ọ pẹ̀lú ṣọ́fẹ̀lì.
What of when you give with shovel?
Ohun tí o bá lo ṣọ́fẹ̀lì láti fi fún Ọlọ́run,
He will return with wheelbarrow.
yóò wá fún ẹ padà pẹ̀lú wheelbarrow.
When you now give with wheelbarrow,
Nígbà tó bá wá fi wheelbarrow fún Ọlọ́run,
payloader. He
yóò
will
dá padà
return
fún ọ.
with, when you give with payloader,
So yóò fi mọ́tò ńlá yóò fi rù padà
he
fún
will
ọ.
return with trailer back to you. And that is how it is.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ ni mo ṣe rí.
That's really what happened to that widow of Sarafat.
Ohun tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ sí obìnrin Sáráfátì yìí.
That's what happened to Abraham.
Ó ní ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Ábúráhámù náà bákan náà.
He gave unto God and he returned in multiple fold unto them.
Ọlọ́run tọkàntọkàn, ó sì dá padà fún wọn ní ìlọ́po ìlọ́po.
Let your faith in God propel you to give so that you can be blessed.
Jẹ́ kí ìgbàgbọ́ rẹ nínú Ọlọ́run kí ó tì ọ́ láti lè fi fún Ọlọ́run bí ó ṣe tọ́ kí o lè rí ìbùkún gbà.
Don't look at your problems.
Má jẹ́ kí a wo ìṣòro wa.
There's no one who look at his problem that will ever be faithful unto God.
Kò sí ẹni tí ó wo ìṣòro rẹ̀ tí yóò lè ṣe olóòótọ́ láti fún Ọlọ́run.
They cast your problems upon me because I care for you.
Ó ní ẹgbẹ́ ìṣòro yín wá kẹgbẹ́ lé mi lórí nítorí pé mo fẹ́
You
ràn
can't
yín.
carry it.
O ò lè dá gbé.
Yes. It will be too much for you.
Ó jù ọ́ lọ.
Throw it back to God.
Ju ìṣòro rẹ sí
Don't
Ọlọ́run.
look at how heavy the problem is,
Wo bí ìṣòro náà ṣe pọ̀ tó.
but do that which God has commanded.
Wọ́n ṣe ohun tí Ọlọ́run ti pa láṣẹ.
Don't let us be like the denominational people.
Kí a má ṣe dàbí ẹjọ́ ìyapa.
When you ask them to pray for their enemies,
Nígbà tí a bá sọ pé kí wọ́n gbàdúrà fún àwọn ọ̀tá wọn.
no, it is not possible. How can I pray for my enemies?
Ó ní ṣe tí wọ́n máa gbàdúrà fún ọ̀tá mi.
Somebody I know that is the one behind my problem. Can you fight for yourself? Can you fight your battle? The one who wants to fight your battle told you that pray for your enemies.
Ẹni tó fẹ́ pè ọ́ níjà, ó ní kó o gbàdúrà fún ọ̀tá rẹ.
The one who wants to bless you
Ẹni
is
tó fẹ́
telling
pè
you,
ọ́, ó ní kó o gbàdúrà fún ọ̀tá rẹ.
give sacrificially unto me, I will bless you back.
Ó ní kó o fi fún mi pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ, èmi yóò sì fún ọ padà.
Yes. You're giving. Let your faith propel you, guide you to give unto God.
Jẹ́ kí ìgbàgbọ́ rẹ kí ó tọ́ kí ó sì tì ọ́ láti lè fi ohun tí ó tọ́ fún Ọlọ́run.
Your giving must cost you something.
Ìfífún rẹ ó gbọ́dọ̀ ná ọ ní nǹkan.
What does it cost you? That widow in Mark chapter 12, verse 41.
Kí ni ohun tí ó ná wíńdò obìnrin opó tí a kà nípa rẹ̀ nínú ìwé Máàkù yìí?
Who can tell me? Good, everything.
Gbogbo nǹkan tí ó ní òní òfin sílẹ̀.
What does it cost Abraham?
Kí ni ohun tí ó ná Ábúráhámù láti fi fún Ọlọ́run?
Everything too.
Gbogbo nǹkan tí ó ní.
All right. What of the widow of Sarafat?
Everything.
And when this widow gave, in that 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 16.
Nígbà tí obìnrin opó yìí tí ó sì fi sílẹ̀ nínú ìwé àwọn ọba kìíní orí kẹtàdínlógún ẹsẹ̀ kẹtàdínlógún.
We are told the bin of flour was not used up. So the jar of oil run dry.
Ìjẹ̀fun àti òróró tí ó lò yìí kò sì gbẹ láíláí.
And she had an household. They ate for many days.
Léyìí tí òun àti àwọn ará ilé rẹ̀ tí wọ́n sì jẹ nínú rẹ̀ fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọjọ́.
Let's now come back to the passage we have read at the beginning. David giving. Let's look at what happened.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a padà sí ẹsẹ̀ wúrà àti àkàsílẹ̀ ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pé.
When David said, I will not sacrifice to the Lord my God burnt offering that cost me nothing.
Àti Dábìdì tó sọ pé èmi kò ní fi fún Ọlọ́run mi ìrúbọ ohun tí kò ní ná mi ní nǹkan.
The widow gave everything.
Obìnrin opó fi gbogbo tí ó ní sílẹ̀.
Abraham gave everything.
Ábúráhámù fi gbogbo nǹkan tí ó ní sílẹ̀ bákan náà pẹ̀lú.
David also gave out of what he has unto God and was also commended.
Èyí tí Dáfídì ó fi nínú ohun tí ó ní sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run tí a sì tún sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ní rere.
It then means whether we have much or little, all of us can give sacrificially.
Wà á túmọ̀ sí pé bóyá a ní lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ tàbí a kò tilẹ̀ ní, gbogbo wa lè fi sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run ní pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ.
That widow,
Obìnrin opó yìí
Abraham,
àti Ábúráhámù
gave all,
wọ́n fi gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ní.
but David gave out of his abundance.
Lẹ́yìn tí Dáfídì tó sì fi sílẹ̀ nínú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí ó ní ní tirẹ̀.
How does it become a sacrificial giving like that of the widow and that of Abraham?
Báwo ni ó ṣe wá dàbí ìfífún ti ìrúbọ ní pẹ̀lú ti Ábúráhámù àti obìnrin opó yìí?
The widow gave all she had, 2 mites.
Lẹ́yìn tí obìnrin opó yìí tí ó gbogbo tí ó ní sílẹ̀ ní ti owó gbogbo tí ó
We
ní.
call it sacrificial.
A pè ní ìrúbọ.
Abraham gave the only son he had. We call it sacrificial.
Ábúráhámù fi ọmọ kan ṣoṣo tí ó ní sílẹ̀, a pè ní ìrúbọ.
How did then David, who gave out of his abundance, how did he give sacrificially? You can tell me.
Báwo ni a ṣe wá pè tí Dáfídì tí ẹ pé ó mú nínú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tí ó ní ni tí ó fi fún Ọlọ́run tí a sì pè ní ìrúbọ?
You can tell
Ta ló
me.
lè ṣàlàyé? Nínú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tó ní ló ti yọ tirẹ̀. So tí a sì tún pè ó náà ní ìrúbọ, ta ló lè ṣàlàyé fún wa?
Yes.
Ó tiẹ̀
You are
lọ
right.
sílẹ̀. Arákùnrin wa ẹgbàá.
He gave what cost him.
Ó fi ohun tí ó ná ní nǹkan sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run.
He gave what is valuable.
Ó fi ohun tí ó níye lórí sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run.
A sacrifice that cost nothing, worth nothing.
Ẹbọ ìrúbọ tí kò náni ní nǹkan kò túmọ̀ sí kò já sí ohun kankan.
A sacrifice
Ìrúbọ
that cost nothing,
tí kò náni ní nǹkan kan
nothing.
kò já mọ́ nǹkan kan.
Let's look at this example.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká wà pẹ́rẹ́ yìí.
I'm driving or walking on the road.
Mò ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn tàbí mò ń wa mọ́tò lọ lójú òfurufú lójú pápá
And I
lójú
see a
náà.
beggar.
Mo wá rí ẹni tó ń tọrọ owó.
Yálà, do ànábì.
Nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹ dákun ẹ fún mi. Wá pọn àpò mi wò.
I saw 20 naira. I just.
Wá rí 20 naira bẹ́ẹ̀ mo wá fún un.
Who has ever gone to bank to withdraw to give to a beggar?
Ta ni ó ti lọ tó gbé àfọ́jú ní ìtọ́ á lọ sílé ìfowópamọ́ wa tá a gbowó jáde tá a kó fún un. Ló ń bá ara rèé.
Who has ever done that?
Ta ló ti ṣe léyìí rí?
Who has ever given his empty ATM card?
Ta ló ti wò pé ó yá ó ń bá ara gbà?
POS, come.
Ní POS gba ATM
To
mi.
give to this.
Bá ń gbowó tó pọ̀ jáde kí n fún bára yìí.
You are giving to a beggar what does not cost you anything.
À ń fún àwọn tí ń tọrọ
You
bára.
don't feel it.
Tó tí a ò ní mọ̀ lára rárá tí kò ní pa wá lára.
You don't feel it.
A ò ní mọ̀ lára.
You don't know that you have given anything
Kò
out.
lè pa wá lára rárá ní nǹkan tá a bá fún ẹni
In
tí
fact,
tọrọ
some
bára.
of us, we have forgotten what we gave to a beggar either in the car or in our pockets.
A ti fún ọtí àwọn oníbàárà ajé àgbàtà àti gbàgbé sínú àpò wa gan tàbí tá a gbàgbé sínú mọ́tò lákàn fún.
The money you want to use to buy beans.
Owó tá a fẹ́ fi ra ẹ̀wà tá a jẹ
You
lálẹ́.
want to buy rice for your family.
Àbí tá a fẹ́ fi ra ìrẹsì fún àwọn ẹbí
You
wa.
can give to a beggar.
A ò lè fi fún ẹni tí tọrọ bára.
You know? So when you give out of what you have, that which cost you, then you are giving sacrificially like that widow and like Abraham.
Nígbà tó bá wá fi fún Ọlọ́run ní ohun tí ó ná ní òun gan, ó ti ṣe eléyìí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ àti pẹ̀lú àpẹẹrẹ Ábúráhámù àti obìnrin
When you look beyond your poverty level
tí o bá ti gbójú wo kọjá àìní rẹ,
and you look unto the one who gives all things to us freely,
tí o sì gbójú wo ẹni tí ó fún wa ní ohun gbogbo lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́,
then you are giving unto God sacrificially.
o ti fi fún Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ ní ọ̀nà ìrúbọ.
Right? So many of us, when we're in denomination,
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa nígbà tí a wà nínú ìjọ ayé,
when we are going to the church on Sunday,
tàbá ti ń lọ sí ilé ìjọsìn ní ọjọ́ Sunday,
we go with change because you know at least they will call you more than 5 times.
àwọn àṣẹ owó ẹyọ sọ́wọ́ ń tà mọ̀ pé wọ́n kú mọ̀ gbàjáde náà bó ṣe.
Ẹgbẹ́ ìlànà òwúrọ̀ oyè ẹjọ́ wájú.
Wọ́n ní àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ìràwọ̀ òwúrọ̀.
You drop 10 naira.
Àfi 10 naira lẹ̀.
Bàbá ẹgbẹ́ ìjọ ẹgbẹ́ yọ.
So èyí tó ẹgbẹ́ bàbá ẹgbẹ́
5.
bàbá ẹgbẹ́ lọ. Àjáde.
You will give what does not cost you anything.
Fi ohun tí kò ná ní òun kankan ló fi sílẹ̀.
All that you want to do, you want to fulfill all righteousness.
Ohun tí o kàn fẹ́ ṣe ni wípé kí o kàn pa òdodo mọ́.
You don't know that you have done anything.
O ò ní mọ̀ lára gan kó o tiẹ̀ lọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì lọ dáwó.
But the giving upon the laws that we're asking us to do in the New Testament must cost us something.
Láì fífún tí Ọlọ́run béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa ní ti ìbádẹ́mú tuntun ó gbọ́dọ̀ ná wa ní òun.
When I collect my salary,
Nígbà tí mo bá gba owó oṣù mi,
what is my decision? What is the percentage I want to give unto God?
kí ni gbèdéke àbí òṣùwọ̀n tí mo fẹ́ fi wọ́n fún Ọlọ́run?
No, it starts from 10%.
Ṣé àgbo bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ìdá mẹ́wàá?
Is it 11?
Jẹ́ ìdá mọ́kànlá níbí?
Is it 12?
Jẹ́ ìdá méjìlá níbí?
Is it 15?
Jẹ́ ìdá mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún níbí?
Is it 20?
Àbí ìdá ogún?
Is it 25?
Àbí ìdá mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dọ́gbọ̀n?
Is it 30?
Àbí ìdá ọgbọ̀n?
You have that's the first thing you remove.
Ohun àkọ́kọ́ tí o gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ yọ sílẹ̀ nílé ìnáwó náà.
Then the rest will be blessed.
Yòókù ìkún yóò wá gbilẹ̀.
If you are a trader,
Tí o bá jẹ́ ní títajà,
one brother told us a story.
arákùnrin kan sọ̀rọ̀ fún wa, ìtàn kan fún wa.
He said that congregation was so young as at that time.
Ó ní ìjọ agbègbè náà wọ́n kéré ní ọjọ́jọ́ ní àkókò náà.
But he noticed that one woman is the one who gave much every Sunday.
Wọ́n gbójú wò pé obìnrin kan ó wà láàrin wọn tẹ́ pé onímọ̀ ń dá owó jù láàrin wọn lọ́jọ́ wa.
He is a trader.
Nítorí pé ó ń tajà ni.
The preacher had been watching this woman.
Oníwàásù tí ń wo arábìnrin yìí.
One day she now called him.
Ní ọjọ́ kan wá pe arábìnrin yìí.
Mama, how do you do it?
Báwo lẹ ṣe rí ṣe?
I always watch that your giving is almost all double whatever other
Fún
you.
yín gan, ó pọ̀ ju ti gbogbo wa gan tá a bá kójọ tá a fi sílẹ̀ lọ.
The old woman said,
Obìnrin àgbàlagbà yìí wá sọ pé
I am a trader.
olùsòwò ni mí.
On Monday,
Ní ọjọ́ Monday,
when I got home,
nígbà tí mo bá délé,
I will calculate my gain.
màá ṣírò èrè mi.
And what is due unto God, I will
Ní
deduct
tí ó
it.
jẹ́ ti Ọlọ́run, ọ̀rọ̀ àfi sí pamọ́.
I will put it under the mat.
Màá fi sí abẹ́ ní.
On Tuesday,
Nígbà tí ó bá di ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun bákan náà,
I will do the same.
màá tún ṣe bákan náà.
On Wednesday,
Nígbà tí ó bá di ọjọ́rú,
I will do the same.
màá tún ṣe bákan náà.
Sunday morning, I will go under my
Ní àárọ̀ Sunday, màá kàn lọ sí abẹ́ ibùsùn mi.
whatever I meet there.
Ohun tí mo bá
I will collect
pàdé
it.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ìdìbò àti ìwà ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì máa dá sílẹ̀.
Is that not what we are taught in 1 Corinthians chapter 16?
Jẹ́ àti ohun tí a kọ́ wa nínú ìwé Kọ́ríńtì kìíní orí kẹrìndínlógún.
We are coming that. We are coming to that. That we are to set aside
Kí á tó jọ sí apá kan
what we want to give unto God.
ohun tí a fẹ́ fi fún Ọlọ́run.
But many of us don't have plan for God.
Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ò tiẹ̀ ní
In our budgets,
nínú gbogbo ìṣúná wa.
we plan for everything. We don't plan to give.
Tí a bá ní pátá ní àpò lórí bùkátà, a ò kí rántí Ọlọ́run.
Let us change our mindset.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a yí èrò wa padà ní òwúrọ̀ yìí.
The Macedonian churches, in their great trial of affliction and their deep poverty, they were abandoned in liberality.
Àwọn ìjọ Macedonia bí wọ́n ṣe pọ̀ ní òtòṣì tó
Yes.
síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ wọ́n jẹ́ ọlọ́rọ̀ nípa ìfún wọn.
Our giving should be born out of a heart full of love and devotion to God.
Lẹ́yìn tí ìfún tí wọ́n bá nílò bákan náà rọ̀ wá láti inú ìfẹ́ àti ìfọkànjìn sí Ọlọ́run.
And I want to set my affections above where Christ sitteth.
Mo fẹ́ gbé ọkàn mi sí ipò ibi tí Kristi tí ó jókòó sí.
It's where your treasure is.
Ibi tí ìṣúra mi bá wà,
There your mind is also.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ibẹ̀ ni ọkàn mi yóò wà bákan náà.
Christianity is a sacrificial given religion.
Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ó jẹ́ ẹ̀sìn tí ó jẹ́ ẹ̀sìn ìfìfún nípa ìbúra.
God sacrificed his only son. God.
Ọlọ́run fi ọmọ rẹ̀ kó sílẹ̀ fún wa.
John chapter 3 verse 16.
Ìwé Jòhánù orí kẹta ẹsẹ̀ kẹrìndínlógún.
We saw also that the church, the first church in Jerusalem, also gave sacrificially.
Ẹ̀sùn máa pé àwọn ìjọ àkọ́kọ́ tí wà ní Jerusalem bákan náà, wọ́n máa ń fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ.
How do they do that?
Báwo ni wọ́n ń ṣe
You
léyìí?
see that in Acts chapter 4,
Nínú ìwé ìṣe àpọ́sítélì orí kẹrin,
verse 34 and 35.
ẹsẹ̀ kẹrìnlélọ́gbọ̀n sí kẹrìnlélógójì.
Many of them sold their lands,
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ta ilẹ̀ wọn
properties,
àti ohun ìní wọn
so that others would live,
kí àwọn yòókù lè ráyé gbé.
so that they should be able to give to those who do not have.
Kí wọ́n lè fi fún àwọn tí wọn ò ní láàrin wọn.
When you see your brother suffering, what did you do?
Tí o bá rí arákùnrin rẹ tẹ̀bi ń pa, kí ni ohun tí o máa ń ṣe?
Our giving is an expression of obedience to God's word.
Fún wa, ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ẹ̀mí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ àti
Obedience, ìgbọràn.
ó jẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹ̀mí ìgbọràn.
Our giving is an expression of gratitude unto God.
Fífún wa gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀nà ẹ̀mí ìmoore sí Ọlọ́run.
Our giving should be a sacrifice unto God.
Fífún wa gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ìrúbọ sí Ọlọ́run.
Our giving should be an expression of the hope of eternal life.
Ìfífún wa gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ nípa ti ìrètí ohun tí a retí ní ọ̀run.
What do you mean by that?
Kí ni ìtumọ̀ léyìí?
Let's turn to Philippians chapter 4, verse 17.
Ẹ ká ìwé Fílípì orí kẹrin ẹsẹ̀ kẹtàdínlógún.
Our giving should be an expression that I have hope of eternal life.
Ìfífún wa ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ti eléyìí tí ó ní ìrètí ìyà nípẹ̀kun.
Yes, read Philippians 4:17. Yes. He said, not that I seek the gift, but I seek the fruit that abounds to your account.
Kì í ṣe nítorí tí èmi ń fẹ́ ẹ̀bùn náà, ṣùgbọ́n èmi ń fẹ́ èso tí yóò máa di púpọ̀ nítorí yín.
I've said over and over that many people, when they get to heaven, they won't get mat to sleep.
Mo máa ń sọ léraléra pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn nígbà tó bá tẹ̀ dọ́run ẹni tí wọ́n rí sùn gan kù sí.
Because they don't have investment in heaven.
Torí wọn ò tilẹ̀ tó ìṣúra kan sọ́run.
What's your investment to heaven?
Kí ni ìṣúra tẹ̀ tó jọ sọ́run?
When we said a brother is in need
Nígbà tí a ní arákùnrin kan pé wọ́n ṣe aláìní
in our midst,
láàrin wa,
we are to help that brother.
àwa fẹ́ ran irú arákùnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́.
Some of us will begin to grumble.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ owó wa máa kùn.
Many of us look at it as a burden to us.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ owó máa rí bí ẹni pé ẹrù ni arákùnrin jẹ́ lórí ìjọ.
But some people will see it as an opportunity to lay their treasures in heaven.
Nígbà tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ó sì rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí oore ọ̀fẹ́ àti àǹfààní láti tò ìṣúra sí ọ̀run.
That is the only way you can send into your heavenly account.
Ọ̀nà kan ṣoṣo tí a lè gbà fi tò ìṣúra sí ọ̀run eléyìí.
All of us will have an account in heaven.
Gbogbo wa ni a ní ilé ìfowópamọ́ ní ọ̀run.
Who will not be happy you are doing business and every day you go to the bank to deposit? Who will not be happy?
Nínú ìdádúró ní dùn tó yẹ pé à ń ṣe òwò tó gbogbo ìrọ̀lẹ́ láàrin owó ń lọ gẹ́gẹ́rì láti pamọ́ nílé ìfowópamọ́. Láti sáré lọ bí a ti tajà lónìí. Yá lọ fowópamọ́ sílé ìfowópamọ́.
That is how people who understand the meaning of giving, each time they have opportunity to do good, they are always happy.
Eléyìí ni ọ̀nà tí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ní inú dídùn láti ṣe ìbí fún tí wọ́n ṣe máa ń dùn ní wọ́n bá dùn nǹkan báyìí.
These are the people who have the hope of eternal life.
Àwọn wọ̀nyí ni wọ́n ní ìrètí ìyà nípẹ̀kun.
Because they know this is the only thing that they are going to meet at the end of life.
Nítorí wọ́n mọ̀ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n lọ dé bá ní ọ̀run ni eléyìí.
Buhari died.
Buhari kú.
With all his money and power.
Pẹ̀lú gbogbo agbára àti owó tí ó ní.
What did he go with?
Kí ló mú lọ́wọ́ lọ?
Nothing.
Kò sí nǹkan.
Abiola died.
Bíọ́lá kú.
What did he go with?
Kí ló mú lọ?
Nothing.
Kò sí nǹkan.
There are many people today that their money is trapped or locked up in the bank because what they have is not known to the family. The bank sat on it.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní báńkì ti gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé owó wọn tí wọ́n sì ti bá nítorí pé owó tí wọ́n ní gan àwọn ẹbí wọn gan ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ tí wọ́n ní owó sí kan tó kú.
Then what? Does it have any meaning
Tí wọ́n á ní
to the
ìtumọ̀
man who have died? No. It has no meaning to him.
Ó
Or her.
kankan nínú ikú wọn.
Learn to send your money ahead of you by doing good to
Ẹ
others.
jẹ́ kí a kọ́ láti rán wa níṣẹ́ láti lè ṣe iṣẹ́ rere fún àwọn ẹlòmíràn.
So know that I have an account in heaven. What does my account read in
Ìyá
heaven?
sì mọ̀ pé a ní ohun tí ibi ìfinkan pamọ́ ní ọ̀run léyìí tí a ó sì gbọ́dọ̀ máa lépa rẹ̀ pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa ní nǹkan nínú.
What do we learn from 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verses 1 and 2?
Ẹ̀kọ́ wo ni àwọn akọrin nínú ìwé Kọ́ríńtì kìíní orí kẹrìndínlógún ẹsẹ̀ nílé ìkejì.
When it teaches us regularity of our giving.
Ó kọ́ wa bí ó ṣe yẹ ká máa fi fúnni ní ìgbà gbogbo ká máa fún Ọlọ́run ní ìgbà gbogbo.
Upon the first day of the week.
Ní ọjọ́ ìbí ní ọ̀sẹ̀.
Every Christian should prepare his or sacrificial given unto God upon the first day of the week.
Gbogbo Kristẹni á gbọ́dọ̀ tó ìṣúra wa jọ ní apá kan ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìkíní ọ̀sẹ̀ ká sì sílẹ̀.
Number 2.
Ẹ̀kọ́ kejì.
Who should give?
Ta ni ó yẹ kí ó fi fún?
Every Christian.
Gbogbo Kristẹni.
Let each of you lay by in store as God has prospered you.
Kí olúkúlùkù yín kí ó fi sínú ìṣúra lọ́dọ̀ ara rẹ̀ ní apá kan gẹ́gẹ́ bí Ọlọ́run sí.
Except you say that you are not being blessed by God.
Àfi tí o bá pinnu pé Ọlọ́run bùkún ọ.
You know, there is a rule in cooperative society.
Àwọn òfin kan wà ní àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìgboro.
Every member of a cooperative society is expected to give every month. There's something we call minimum saving and maximum saving. Those of you who have been in corporate, what is the minimum savings?
Gbogbo àtàǹsẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù, a ó rí i pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní iye tí a gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi sílẹ̀. Tó kéré jù tá a gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi sílẹ̀.
How much?
Láwọn pamọ́. Gbogbo àtàǹsẹ̀ bí èlò ni tẹ́gbà gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi sílẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìpàdé.
Oh, that is too much. The one I know is 200.
Mo mọ ilé jẹ́ pé àpò kan ni
200.
àpò kan péré ni gbogbo ọjọ́
in a month.
Lóṣù o gbọ́dọ̀ fi sílẹ̀.
If you are a member, every in a month.
Ara wọn o gbọ́dọ̀ fi sílẹ̀.
All right? It is compulsory by law.
Ó jẹ́ òfin wọn.
The same thing is compulsory in the law of God that every Christian must what? He must give when upon the first day of the week.
Fún Kristẹni pé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìkíní ọ̀sẹ̀, Kristẹni gbọ́dọ̀ fi sílẹ̀.
How should I do it? That's another question from 1 Corinthians chapter 16.
Pẹ̀lú ìbéèrè láti ìwé Kọ́ríńtì kìíní orí kẹrìndínlógún yìí.
I should be prepared for it.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbáradì sílẹ̀ fún un.
It should be purposefully.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ aláfọkàn, mo gbọ́dọ̀ fọkàn sí láti ní.
And not thoughtlessly.
Yìí ṣe lẹ́nu àìlérò tàbí àìròtì.
Yes. Some give without thinking.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń fi sílẹ̀ láì tiẹ̀ ronú lórí rẹ̀ rárá.
Some without preparing for it.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tiẹ̀ gbáradì wọn múra sílẹ̀ ní ìdáwó.
As we plan our budget, so we should do to spiritual things.
Bí a ṣe ń pinnu àwọn ìṣúná wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ní ká máa ṣe nípa ti ẹ̀mí.
How much? That's another question there. Do you like it?
Èló ni kí n fi sílẹ̀? Ìbéèrè mìíràn níbẹ̀ nílé yìí.
We see the justice of God in this place.
A rí ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ní àárín yìí.
Proportionately to what you receive.
Bí ó ní gbèdéke pẹ̀lú ohun tí a bá gbà.
Whether little or
much,
all can give sacrificially.
Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ lè fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ.
Remember the widow of 2 mites?
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a rántí opó oní èdè méjì yìí.
The widow of Zarephath?
Àti opó ti Sáráfátì.
They gave all.
Wọ́n fi gbogbo tí wọ́n ní sílẹ̀.
Same with Abraham.
Bákan náà Ábúráhámù.
He gave his only begotten son.
Ọmọ kan ṣoṣo tí ó ní ni ó fi rúbọ fún Ọlọ́run.
But David, out of what he gave what cost him, and not remnants or leftover.
Dáfídì bákan náà ó fi ohun tí ó ná ní nǹkan gidigidi sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run kì í ṣe nínú àjẹsẹ́kù tàbí ohun tí kò ní mọ̀ lára.
All right? So we should learn to give sacrificially unto God.
A gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ bí a ṣe ń fi sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ.
Why do we give?
Kí ni ìdí tí a ṣe ń fi fún?
For the works of the church.
Fún iṣẹ́ ìjọ.
What are the works of the church? You can tell me.
Ní àwọn iṣẹ́ ìjọ tàbí lè sọ fún wa. Tàbí lè sọ àwọn iṣẹ́ ìjọ fún wa.
Somebody tell me the passage we can quote to tell us the works of the church. I want a passage.
Kí ni ẹsẹ̀ wúrà tí a máa ń lò láti fi ṣàlàyé iṣẹ́ ìjọ?
Very good. What are they? Tell me.
Kí ni àwọn iṣẹ́ ìjọ yìí?
1. Yes. Very good. These are the 3 works of the church.
Àwọn iṣẹ́ ìjọ mẹ́ta nílé.
Part of it is the needy, giving to the needy one.
Ara rẹ̀ ní pé kí a fún àwọn aláìní nínú ìjọ.
Either widow,
bóyá àwọn opó,
or someone who is a needy brother.
Tàbí ará tí kò ní rárá nínú ìjọ.
We also pay the preachers from what we give.
Nínú rẹ̀ náà ni a ó ti sanwó oníwàásù.
Right? When you talk of liberality.
Tá bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìlawọ́.
Yes. It's not measured by the amount of what you have.
A kò gbé òṣùwọ̀n lé pẹ̀lú gbogbo tí a bá ní.
But by the spirit of sacrifice.
Wọ́n nípa ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ tí ó wà nínú wa.
One may give above others.
Ẹnìkan lè gbé owó fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa tí a bá dá kó gbé sílẹ̀.
Yet he has not given
tí kò sí ìdá ìbọ̀kan pẹ̀lú tí kò ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìbọ̀.
Is that correct?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ni.
This brother is the one that is given the lion
ẹni tí
share of
arákùnrin ló máa
our
ń
in our
fi sílẹ̀
appropriation.
tó pọ̀ jù ní gbogbo bàtà bá dáwó.
Yet, is the one who gave the less.
Síbẹ̀ kò tiẹ̀ fi kan sílẹ̀ níwájú Ọlọ́run.
How does that happen? You can tell me.
Kí ló lè fà léyìí? Tàbí lè sọ fún wa? Kí ló
The
máa ń
brother
fà?
there can tell me the reason. Good. The proportion.
Pé bí ó ṣe pọ̀ tó,
The proportion
ó ṣe pọ̀ tó.
out of what he has, what proportion has he? Okay, somebody is having 100,000
Bóyá èèyàn ó ní 100,000 lọ́wọ́,
and somebody is having 10,000.
ẹnìkan sì ní 10,000 lọ́wọ́.
The one with 10,000 gave 1,000,
Ẹni tí ó ní 10,000 lọ́wọ́, ó tiẹ̀ wá fi 1,000 sílẹ̀.
or he gave 500.
Bóyá ó fi 500 naira sílẹ̀.
The man with 100,000 gave 1,000.
Ó wá ní 100,000 lọ́wọ́, òun wá mú 2,000 àti 1,000 wá.
Who gave the much?
Ta ló fi sílẹ̀ tó pọ̀ jù?
Okay, what is their percentage? Two of them.
Tá bá gbé sórí òṣùwọ̀n, ta ló fi sílẹ̀ jù?
So ṣé gbé síra wọn? The man with 10,000, he gave 500. What percent is that? 5%. The man with 100,000, he gave 1,000. What percentage? 1%. Can you see what we are saying now?
So àwọn tí a sọ tó ti wáyé bàbá yìí.
All right. Yes, he has given 1,000.
Lóòótọ́ ẹni tí ó ní tó pọ̀, ó ti fi ẹgbẹ̀rún kan
We
sílẹ̀.
look at the man who gave 500,
Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó fi 500 naira sílẹ̀ yìí.
and we say, this 1,000 are given
Táwọn
much than the other
àwọn
one.
tó pọ̀ rèé pé 1,000 lára ẹni yìí gbé
But
sílẹ̀.
what the law will do is the percentage of
Òtí
what.
Ọlọ́run bójú wò ní wípé ìdá kan ni ẹni tí ó fi 1,000 sílẹ̀ ló fi sílẹ̀.
We also discover that in the church,
Àwa rí i pé nínú ìjọba kan náà,
it is easier for a poor man to be faithful than a rich man.
ó wá rọrùn fún ẹni tí ò ní rárá láti ṣe olódodo láti jẹ olódodo jẹni tó lówó lọ́wọ́ ọ̀nà nínú ìjọ.
And most time, we look at it.
Ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà
We
náà,
stop praying that God should bless us.
ṣé kí a wá ní pé kọ́lọ́run mọ́ bùkún fún wa mọ́ ni?
Because when you are poor,
Nítorí tó ò bá ní,
you give sacrificially to God.
ó filẹ̀ pẹ̀lú òdodo.
But when God starts blessing you,
Tí bùkún bá wá dé tó tí gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀,
and you discover that your giving should be 500,000,
wá jẹ́ pé bóyá ayé tó yẹ ká fi sílẹ̀ jà wò pé pẹ̀lú iye àwọn tó wà yẹ kí á rí 500,000.
you as
Pé
a
ìwọ gan ó yẹ kó
person,
wò
your
pé
blessing worth 500,000.
ìbùkún rẹ̀ ó tó 500,000.
You now wake up on Sunday morning,
Wọ́n dáná sọ́dọ̀ wá pé ìwọ náà
500.
tí a fẹ́ lọ báyìí ó ìpọ̀.
Oh, you poor.
Lẹ́ẹ̀kan
Oh,
náà.
they're poor.
Lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà.
But that is your worth.
Nítorí pé ohun tí ó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn.
That is your worth.
Ohun tí ẹ tó ń tẹ tó láti ṣe lélẹ́yìí.
Jesus said, if you are faithful in a small thing, he will make you over much.
Nígbà Jésù sọ pé tí ẹ bá ṣe lódodo kékeré, òun ó tún bùkún fún yín ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀.
And that is why many of us we are not blessed.
A mọ̀ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ni àbùkù ni Ọlọ́run.
Because when God begins to bless you, you will draw back.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ò rí bùkún nítorí pé tí Ọlọ́run bá ti lè bùkún fún wa, a ó fà sẹ́yìn.
You don't show the appreciation
A ò
by
ní
increasing your giving.
Láti fi sílẹ̀ fún Ọlọ́run.
And this is very wrong.
Eléyìí sì kùnà.
Let us learn to give sacrificially.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a kọ́ bí a ṣe fi fún ni.
What does failure to give indicate?
Kí ni àìfífún? Kí ni ewu tó wà lórí rẹ̀?
Kí ló túmọ̀ sí? Does it mean we lack sound teaching?
Ǹjẹ́ ó túmọ̀ sí pé a ò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbí?
Well, one may not give sacrificially because he or she lacks sound teaching.
A lè rí ẹni tí kò fi sílẹ̀ ló ti tọ́ nítorí pé kò ní ẹ̀kọ́ tí ó yóò kúrò
That
láti.
is not our own case.
Pé eléyìí kì í ṣe tiwa,
We have been taught.
a ti fi kọ́ wa.
But what would be responsible for our own is
Lókè ló
what
jẹ́
we
tiwa.
call rebellious towards God.
Eléyìí yóò jẹ́ tẹ̀mbẹ̀lẹ̀kún sí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run.
Some won't give because they are rebellious.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò fi sílẹ̀ nítorí ìwà tẹ̀mbẹ̀lẹ̀kún tó wà nínú wọn.
Some have made up their mind.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti pinnu ọkàn wọn.
Tó bá kù yẹn pé tíṣà wá láti London.
People need to bring your preacher from
Ohun
the
tí mo dà
US.
ni mo dà.
It is what I'm going to give that I'm going to give.
Ohun tí mo dà ni mo dà.
Your preacher is an angel. Become an angel. It's what I will give, I will give.
That is rebellious.
Eléyìí jẹ́ ìwà tẹ̀mbẹ̀lẹ̀kún.
You are not ready to change.
O ò ṣetán láti yí padà.
And it is dangerous.
Eléyìí léwu nítorí ara ẹni ṣe.
It is better change our.
Ó dára kí á yí ọkàn wa padà.
Some don't give because they lack faith in God's word.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òfin sílẹ̀ nítorí pé kò sí ìgbàgbọ́ nínú iṣẹ́ wọn, nígbàgbọ́ lórí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run.
If I drop this,
Tí n bá lè fowó ilé ẹlẹ́,
when do I get another one?
ó ní bí ó ti jáde.
Lack faith.
A ò nígbàgbọ́.
You are not ready to cast your bread upon what?
A ò ṣetán láti fún oúnjẹ wa sí orí omi.
That you will reap it after many days.
Pé a ó rí padà gẹ́gẹ́ bí Ọlọ́run ṣe gbé ní ọ̀pọ̀.
Some don't give because they lack interest in the work of God.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òfin sílẹ̀ nítorí pé wọn ò ní ìfẹ́ sí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run.
They are not interested.
Kò kàn wọ́n.
Whether we print tracts, whether we build houses, whether they are not interested.
Bóyá ìjọ tilẹ̀ kọ́ ilé ńlá tàbí pé wọ́n tilẹ̀ tiẹ̀ ṣe ohun tí ó dára tó láti lè mú ṣiṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run
There are
tẹ̀sán.
many of us who will only come here to harvest and not to sow anything.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa kàn fẹ́ wá kí á jèrè kí á kéré ní a ò fẹ́ láti gbìn kí àwọn
The
akẹ́kọ̀ọ́
kingdom of
ṣiṣẹ́.
God is not like that.
Ìjọba Ọlọ́run ò sí pẹ̀lẹ́
We are to come here and work.
a gbọ́dọ̀ wá láti wá ṣiṣẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run.
We should, and some lack of cooperation with the church.
Bákan náà ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà tí ìjọba fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀,
Àwọn ìgbà fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀.
àwọn ìjọba fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀
Because of their selfishness.
nítorí ìwà ìmọ̀tara ẹnìkan.
Yes, selfishness.
Ìmọ̀tara ẹnìkan.
I remember when we began the church at Apata,
Mo rántí nígbà tí ìjọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ìlú Àpáta,
we were meeting in a kiosk,
inú ṣọ́ọ̀bù kan la ti ń pàdé.
and it got a time that the place becomes so choked,
Wọ́n tó àwọn kan tí ibẹ̀ ti ń fún wa.
and we are complaining.
Àwa ń ṣàròyé.
Then the preacher came one day.
So oníwàásù kan wá lọ́jọ́ kan.
He heard our complaining.
Ó wá gbọ́ tá à ń ṣàròyé.
You now look at those of us who are there.
Ó wá wo iye àwa tí a wà nínú ṣọ́ọ̀bù náà.
At least we have, at that time, we have 3 brethren who are managing director of a company.
Tí a sì ní àwọn olórí olórí ilé iṣẹ́ bíi mẹ́ta ní
You look at us, at least 4 of the brethren, they have their own personal houses.
Nínú àwọn àtàwọn àbẹ̀ àwọn bíi 4 ló jẹ́ pé ilé ara wọn ni wọ́n ń gbé nínú wa.
That brother now said,
Arákùnrin wa sọ pé,
are you saying that if a father began, all of you cannot give him a house?
àwa sọ pé ẹni wàá wò wá ní òkè tí bàbá kan náà ló gbogbo yín báyìí ẹ ò tiẹ̀ lè fi ilé kan dè fún un.
Can't you build a house for him?
Ṣé ẹ ò lè kọ́lé fún un bàbá kan ló gbogbo yín?
Want all of us together.
So eléyìí wá gbogbo wa sókè papọ̀.
That was the very month
Oṣù
bought
náà
the land,
lára lẹ̀
and we started to build.
tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kọ́ ìjọ.
If a father has begotten all of us,
Tó bá yẹ kó bàbá kan náà ló gbogbo wa,
and you can't we give him a beautiful house?
ṣé a ò lè kọ́ ilé fún ni?
Many of us have got our personal houses.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ni a ti ní ilé ìgbé tiwa.
But look at where we worship.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ ká wo ibi tí a ti ń péjọpọ̀.
But I'm happy I learned you have got another. God bless you.
Ẹnu mi dùn nígbà tí ní ìbòmíràn tí ẹ
Yes.
kọ́ Ọlọ́run.
So we can do it
A lè ṣe é
if the will is there.
tí ìpinnu bá wà níbẹ̀.
So let us prepare,
Ẹ jẹ́
give
kí a pinnu
unto God
láti fún Ọlọ́run
as we are prospered.
bí a ṣe fún wa.
Yes, we should not be rebellious.
Kí a má ṣe èlé ní ẹ̀mí tẹ̀lé fún láti fi fún ni.
We should prepare to serve God faithfully.
Kí a ṣe tán láti sin Ọlọ́run tọkàntọkàn.
When should we give?
Ìgbà wo ló yẹ ká fi fún?
Why?
Wá ìdí wo ni a ṣe gbọdọ̀ fi fún Ọlọ́run?
I've mentioned one of them, to lay our treasures in heaven.
A ti sọ̀kan nínú rẹ̀ pé láti tò ìṣúra wa jọ sí ọ̀run.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 20.
Ìwé Mátì orí kẹfà ẹsẹ̀ kọkàndínlógún sí
And
ogún.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 17.
Ìwé Fílípì orí kẹrin ẹsẹ̀ kẹtàdínlógún.
Let us also listen to this.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a tún tẹ́tí sí eléyìí.
One philosopher or one religious man said this, which I believe it is true.
Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n kan tàbí olórí ẹ̀sìn kan ó sọ̀rọ̀ kan tí mo sì gbàgbọ́ pé ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
What I saved, I lost.
Ohun tí mo fi pamọ́ òní mo sọnù.
What I spent,
Ohun
I used.
tí mo ná òní mo lò.
What I give, I save.
Ohun tí mo fi sílẹ̀ mo pamọ́.
You believe that?
Ìyá nígbà gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ bí.
Is it correct?
Ṣé ó tọ̀nà bí?
What I saved,
Ohun tí mo fi pamọ́
I what?
mo sọnù.
Meaning that as I'm standing here today,
Bí mo
as
ṣe wà
you are
níbí,
here today, if something happened that all of us died,
tí ohun tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ tí gbogbo wa wá kú lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà,
what happened to the money you saved in the bank?
Owó tẹ̀bí sí GTB iná ṣẹlẹ̀ sí.
It's lost.
Gbogbo owó ní ó pè.
Aha. Now, what I spent, I used.
Ohun tí mo ná, mo ti lò ó.
What's the meaning of that?
Kí ni ìtumọ̀ eléyìí?
If you take bread, egg, name it this morning.
Bí a jẹ èso àtẹyin láàárọ̀ yìí.
After some time, you go to toilet.
Wá lọ sílé ìyàgbẹ́, a lọ dá ọ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀.
You have used that. You can't retrieve it back.
A ò lè gbà padà mọ́.
The only thing that you have saved.
Ohun kan tí a ti fi pamọ́. Ó ní ohun tó bá fi fún ní ìtàkùn Ọlọ́run.
Because it goes to your heavenly account.
Nítorí yóò lọ sí àpò rẹ.
What to give upon the first day of the week.
Ohun tí o fi ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní ọ̀sẹ̀, o ti fi pamọ́.
Jesus said,
Jésù sọ wípé,
I was sick, you did not visit me.
Mo ṣàárẹ̀, ẹ ò bẹ̀ mí wò.
Hungered, you did not feed me.
Ebi ń pa mí, ẹ ò fún mi lóúnjẹ.
Thirsty, you did not give me water.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ngbẹ́ mi, ẹ ò tiẹ̀ fún mi lọ mí.
When did I see you and fail to do it?
Nígbà wo lélẹ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ gan Olúwa wa?
When you have done it to one of these,
Nígbà tí ẹ bá ṣe fún
you have done it.
ara ilé yín tàbí àwọn yìí.
So it is the only thing that you give that you have saved.
Ohun kan tí a bá ti fi sílẹ̀, òun náà ni a fi pamọ́.
So that is the reason why we should give.
Ìdí nìyí tí a ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe fún.
2.
Ìkejì.
Giving is a means to be blessed.
Òfìfún jẹ́ ọ̀nà tí a fi rí ìbùkún gbà.
Proverbs 11:24.
Ìwé òwe orí kọkànlá ẹsẹ̀ kẹrìnlélógún.
So there is a man that is scattering.
Ọkùnrin kan wà tí ó ń fọ́nká, ó sì ní sí.
But there is one that is withholding.
Ṣùgbọ́n ìkan wà tí ó ń kójọ.
It's tending to poverty.
Wípé ó sì ń di aláìní.
You see, another principle of giving is this.
Ètò mìíràn láti fi fúnni ní eléyìí.
You see our toilets.
Sáré ibi ilé ìyàgbẹ́ wa yìí.
The one we flushed.
Eléyìí tí a bá ti da omi sí tí a ti sàn lọ.
If I said, I don't want to waste my water.
Ìfẹ́ fomi mi ṣòfò.
I want to save this water in the water closet.
Mo fẹ́ fi omi yìí pamọ́ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ níbi ilé ìyàgbẹ́ ni.
After some time, what happens to that water?
Nígbà tó bá yá kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí omi
It
yìí?
is thinking.
Omi yóò máa rùn.
The more you flush,
Tí a bá ṣe
fresh one will come in.
tẹ omi láti jẹ́ kí
As you
ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀
flush,
lọ.
fresh water will come in.
Omi tuntun mi ò tún máa bọ inú àwo yìí. Yóò ṣe fi bílẹ̀.
To replenish your
Ọlọ́run máa kó láti dá padà fún wa ní ọ̀pọ̀ yàtọ̀.
He knows the way to bless you back.
Ó mọ ọ̀nà láti bùkún wa padà.
The most appreciated blessing is the blessing you receive you cannot explain. But God, how did it come?
Oore tí èèyàn máa mọ rírì ọ̀jù.
What have I done to receive?
Oríṣiríṣi oore náà jẹ́ pé ìwọ́gùn ò tiẹ̀ rí pọ́ńbọ̀ rárá tí ò tiẹ̀ mú bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀. Táwọn ọ̀gá Ọlọ́run.
You don't even plan for it.
Kí ni mo ṣe wà tí ẹ̀ rí sí rẹ̀?
Something that you have done and God knows the way to multiply you.
Ní ohun gbogbo tí a bá fi sílẹ̀, Ọlọ́run ti mọ ọ̀nà láti bùkún wa.
Yes, Luke chapter 6 verse 38. It says, give and it shall be given unto you.
Lúùkù orí kẹfà
Good measure,
kejìlélógójì
pressed down, abundant.
èmi yóò sì fi fún ọ padà.
So let us learn to.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a kọ́
We
láti.
give to appreciate God that we have come from Him and we are going to return to Him.
À ń fún Ọlọ́run ní ìdí wípé ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ ni a ti wá, ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ ni a ó sì padà sí.
And all things that we have belongs to
Ohun
Him.
gbogbo tí a sì ní Ọlọ́run ló ní.
4. We give unto God to show that the life of a man does not consist in the abundance of what he possesses.
À ń fi fún Ọlọ́run torí pé ẹ̀mí ènìyàn kò sí nínú ọ̀pọ̀ tí ó ní.
Yes. We give unto God to show where our affection is.
À ń fi fún Ọlọ́run láti lè fi hàn ibi tí ìfẹ́ wa tí ó wà.
Colossians chapter 3 verses 1 and 2.
Ìwé Kólósì orí kẹta ẹsẹ̀ dídé kejì.
And lastly, we give unto God to show that we are steward and we are going to give account of what He has blessed us with.
À ń fún Ọlọ́run lákòótán, à ń fún Ọlọ́run nítorí pé a jẹ́ ìríjú, pé a ó sì jèrè, a ó kéré nǹkan tí a fi fún Ọlọ́run. A ó jíyìn nǹkan tí a fi fún.
1 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 1 and 2.
Ìwé Kọ́ríńtì kìíní orí kẹrin ẹsẹ̀ dídé kejì.
Now, kinds of giver in the church.
Àwọn ìsọ̀rí Ọlọ́run tó bí ogun tó
They come to the church to show appreciation. That was
wọ́n ní ògbé àmúgbòdò wa fọ́lọ́run.
any other day.
Gbogbo ọjọ́ mìíràn
They know that plan.
kò kàn wọ́n àwọn ará ìlú nìkan wọn dáwó.
The third level
Ìkẹta
is what we call emotional level.
òun náà ni àwọn tí wọ́n fi fún nípa ti èrò.
Yes, the way they feel.
Wọ́n ṣe rò ó yẹ kó káwọn sílẹ̀.
The day they feel happy, they
Jọ́sí
give.
bá dùn wọ́n fi sílẹ̀.
They don't feel happy.
Jọ́sí bí wọ́n bá ti dùn kò sówó.
It is their emotions that controls them.
Ìdùnnú tó bá gbé wá olóòrò tó bá gbé wá ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ló sọ pé wọ́n dàwó.
The fourth level.
Àwọn ìsọ̀rí tí ó gbẹ̀yìn.
These are the true converted level.
Ó ní àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe tòótọ́ yípadà
But something they will consider.
Wọ́n sì gbójú wo nǹkan mẹ́fà.
They give purposefully.
Wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìpinnu rere.
They give liberally.
Wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlawọ́.
They give proportionately.
Wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ní ọ̀pọ̀ yanturu.
They give periodically.
Wọ́n sì máa fi sílẹ̀ déédéé.
They give sacrificially.
Wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀mí ìrúbọ.
And they do it cheerfully.
Wọ́n sì ṣe pẹ̀lú inú dúdùn.
That's third level.
Eléyìí ò ní ìpín tí ó kẹ́yìn.
Which one?
Èwo ni ìwọ ṣe?
When you don't give, as you are prospered, you are stingy, then you are closing the door of blessing to yourself.
Tí o kò bá fi sílẹ̀ bí Ọlọ́run ṣe bùkún ọ tàbí o ṣe ní tó, o ń tilẹ̀kùn àìnímọ̀ ara rẹ.
And eternal punishment awaits.
Ìjìyà ní ọ̀run sì dúró dè ọ́.
Let me clear on over this types of Christian giving.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a sáré pé ká gbogbo lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. Oríṣi
ọ̀nà, yes, ìfún mẹ́rin that we have in the church.
Tí a ní nínú ìjọ.
Number one.
Àkọ́kọ́.
Is given upon the first day of the week.
Ó náà ní ìfífún ti ọjọ́ ìkíní ọ̀sẹ̀.
All of us.
Gbogbo wa.
We are to give upon the first day of the week.
Àkùrọ̀ lè fi sílẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ ìkíní ọ̀sẹ̀.
According to 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verses 1 and 2.
Ìwé Kọ́ríńtì kìíní orí kẹ̀ẹ́dínlógún ẹsẹ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ kejì.
Number two.
Ìkejì.
Is given to the preacher.
Ká máa fi fún oníwàásù.
Galatians chapter 6 verse 6.
Ìwé Gálátíà orí kẹfà ẹsẹ̀ kẹfà.
Let's read.
Jẹ́ kí a kà á.
Galatians chapter 6 verse 6. Him that is taught, communicate unto him who teaches him in all good things. That's a command from God.
Eléyìí jẹ́ àṣẹ tààrà látọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run.
A positive command from God.
Eléyìí jẹ́ àṣẹ pàtó látọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run.
It is your duty to communicate back to your preacher.
Ó jẹ́ ojúṣe rẹ láti lè fi padà fún oníwàásù
He
tó
has
kọ́ ní
told
ọ̀nà.
us to use spiritual food.
Ó ti fún ọ ní oúnjẹ ti ẹ̀mí.
Give it back to him physically.
Ó gbúdọ̀ lè fún padà ní oúnjẹ
It's
ti
the
ara.
command of God.
Eléyìí jẹ́ àṣẹ Ọlọ́run.
Number three.
Ìkẹta.
Giving to the poor brethren in the church.
Àwọn aláìní nínú ìjọ ó jẹ́ ojúṣe àti ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ láti fún wọn.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 26.
Ìwé Kọ́ríńtì kìíní orí kejìlá ẹsẹ̀ ìkẹrìndínlọ́gbọ̀n.
If one member suffers, all other members of the body should suffer along with him or
Bí
her.
ẹ̀yà kan tí ó bá ṣe aláìní gbogbo ẹ̀yà yòókù ni wọ́n gbúdọ̀ kábàámọ̀ pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ káàfin.
Faithfully, we should help one another.
Nípa tí ẹ̀mí agbúdọ̀ ran gbogbo lọ́wọ́.
Provided we are not encouraging laziness.
Níwọ̀n ìgbà tí a kò bá ti máa gbárùkù ti ọ̀lẹ.
Yeah, but if one brother has a problem, before it comes to the church, we ask ourselves, what have I done?
Ká kọ́ bìrà náà kí ni mo ti ṣe láti ṣe arábìnrin.
I remember a brother lost all his property to fire outbreak.
Wọ́n rántí pé arákùnrin kan gbogbo ìní rẹ̀ pátá ni iná jó.
Brethren, this one gave him clothes, this one gave him a bag of rice, this one gave him mantra, this one gave him this, this one gave him that.
Ní aṣọ, wọ́n fún ní gbogbo nǹkan
And
tí
when
wọ́n
we called him, what do you need again? He said, all my needs be met by my brethren. That is what God does.
pé kí ni ó tún kù tí o tún nílò? Ó ní gbogbo tí mo nílò pátá àwọn ará ṣe.
For most of us, anything happen, church pause.
Ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, àwa
No!
ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ báyìí, ó yẹ ìyára ìjájòkó inú àpò.
Before it comes to the church pause, let us
Ní
ask
àpò
ourselves,
ìjọ,
what have I done?
ẹ jẹ́ kí a bèèrè wa, kí ni mo ti ṣe?
A brother died, he has no relatives.
Arákùnrin kan kú tí kò ní ara.
Whose duty to bury him?
Ta ni ojúṣe ta ni láti sin?
The duty of you, brethren.
Ó jẹ́ ojúṣe ẹ̀yin ará.
If it's your brother, will you throw him to the bush?
Tó bá jẹ́ mọ̀lẹ́bí iṣẹ́.
Or you allow dog to eat him?
Bàbá àjẹpẹ̀yẹ ká já jẹ́.
Won't you bury him?
Níṣẹ́ àwọn náà láti.
Yes, it is our duty.
Ó jẹ́ ojúṣe wa.
So when something happens to any of us,
Tí kankan bá
and
ṣẹlẹ̀.
feel that this brother is incapable to bear it, let us rally around him.
Tí kankan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí
Part of
kankan
something
wa.
that's commanded.
Àtàwọn kò ní agbára láti lè ṣe gbé ẹrù yìí. Gbogbo apátálà gbọdọ̀ ṣúgbà rẹ̀ láti lè gbé.
And the fourth type of giving is given to all men. As much as you have opportunity, do good to all men, especially especially those of the household of faith.
Èdè tí ó gbẹ̀yìn lọ́dọ̀ ni pé kí a máa ṣe oore, ká máa pèsè fún àwọn ará ilé ìgbàgbọ́, àti ká máa ṣe oore fún gbogbo ènìyàn, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn ará ilé ìgbàgbọ́.
You know, these days, people will just knock your house.
Àpè ní ìsìn ẹ̀gbọ́n delegate lẹ́nu àwọn ọ̀kan lẹ̀.
You were thinking that
Ẹ̀rọ bá lè dùn tí ẹ̀rẹ̀ ti ni.
but what of this? Ẹjọ́ mi ti jẹ látàárọ̀.
I have not eaten this morning.
Whatever you have as a Christian,
Ìjọba ní kẹrù ìtẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ fún wọn.
let them go.
Jẹ́ kí wọ́n bá ti wọn lọ.
Christians should make provision for all this type of giving in this
Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ti gbọ́dọ̀ máa pèsè sílẹ̀ fún irú àwọn.
Yes, my time is fast spent, brethren. Let me close with Luke chapter 12, verse 15.
Àkókò tí ó pọ̀ ní òwúrọ̀ yẹn jẹ́ kí n parí rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé Lúùkù orí 12 ẹsẹ̀ 13.
Heed and beware of covetousness.
Ẹ máa ṣọ́ra pẹ̀lú fún ojú kòkòrò.
Nítorí ojú kòkòrò.
Nítorí ojú kòkòrò.
For one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses.
Nítorí ẹ̀mí ènìyàn kò sí nípa ohun tí ó ní.
Whether we like
Ohun tí ó ní.
it or not.
Bóyá a fẹ́ akọ̀.
We are strangers,
Àlejò ní wá.
pilgrims here on earth.
Àtìgbó ni wá láyé.
One day we will leave this place.
Ọjọ́ kan tí a fi rí.
When we leave,
Nígbà tí a bá lọ tán,
what are we going to meet over
ni
there?
a fẹ́ bá ní ọ̀rọ̀.
It's how much that you have hearkened, obeyed,
Ohun tí o ti gbọ́, tí
What
o
God-
ti bọ̀wọ̀ fún, tí o ti ṣe.
that's your giving
Bá àṣẹ Ọlọ́run lórí ìfún rẹ,
will form part of your judgment.
òní yóò ti kóra pọ̀ nínú ìdájọ́ tí a ò fún ọ.
God bless his word.
Ọlọ́run tó lùgbọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ nínú wa.
Thank you.
Here's a call comes ringing o'er the restless waves. Send the light, send the light, send the light, send the light. There are souls to rescue, there are souls to save.
How will I give out of my 1,000 naira?
Bó ní ṣe fi sílẹ̀ ní ẹgbẹ̀rún kan tí mo tún gbọ́kànlé.
Well, that is left for you
Ó
to
kù sọ́wọ́
decide.
rẹ láti fi sílẹ̀.
If you want to give above your 10%,
Bá fẹ́ fi sílẹ̀,
opportunity is still there.
o sì lè fi bí 150 sílẹ̀ lọ rẹ̀.
If you want to give everything, you have the right.
Pé mo fẹ́ dọ́lọ́run kò tó wá gbẹ̀ sílẹ̀.
God will never force anybody to give.
Yóò ní fipá mú ọ.
This is part of what we are giving or what we are saying.
Orin ara tá à ń sọ nílé yìí.
Be convinced by faith that you want to throw your bread into what?
Jẹ́ kí ìgbàgbọ́ kí o ṣiṣẹ́ nínú rẹ pé o fẹ́ fọ́n oúnjẹ rẹ sórí.
In fact, when you give with doubt, it might not be acceptable.
Ó
Or
kọ́
it's
ìṣe náà
not.
fi sílẹ̀ gan báyìí pẹ̀lú iyèméjì kò ní ṣètò ọgbà.
But when you give with the assurance with faith, you will see the blessing of God.
Ìgbàgbọ́.
Read them, read them, read.
Thanks for the lecture, sir. Is Matthew chapter 6, verse 3 to 4 applicable to 1 Corinthians 16, 1 to 2? If not, is it encouraging for the church to be using open tray for collection?
Okay, I understand. Yes, using of open tray.
Nípa lílo àwo pẹrẹsẹ láti máa fi gba owó
What the
lórí.
Bible condemns is hypocritical giving.
Ohun tí Bíbélì tí ó takò kò náà ni ìfifún àgàbàgebè.
If that is what the church could afford, nothing wrong with that.
Tó bá jẹ́ pé páànù náà la fẹ́ máa fi gbowó kò sí tó burú
I
náà.
am not given for people to see.
Mi ò fi fún láti jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn kí ó kú máa rí.
But if that will wound the conscience of many, then we change it.
Tó bá wá jẹ́ pé eléyìí yóò tako èròǹgbà àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ ìjọ, ẹ jẹ́ kí á fẹ́ràn kí á jí
We
padà.
have the purse, we have the basket
A ní báskẹ́ẹ̀tì tí a
to
lè lò.
replace the tray.
So,
If a conscience is being wounded about as per that, then the church is not compulsory. There are so many ways.
wà ní orí eléyìí,
All things are lawful.
ohun gbogbo ni ó jẹ fún mi.
It might not be edifying. So if it is not edifying for us to give by tray, change the pattern. Give through your basket, through your bags. Yes.
Láti máa gbà á.
Next one.
Ẹ ṣe fún ẹ̀kọ́ dáradára yìí. Ìbéèrè ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà ni wọ́n máa ń sọ pé 1 Corinthians 16, 1 to 2 kò sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìfifúnni. Kí ni ẹsẹ̀ yìí sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí àti pé kí ló dé tí a fi ń lò fún ìfifúnni?
Very good question. Very good
Ẹ
question.
ṣe fún ìbéèrè yìí.
is talking about giving.
They were talking about the collect. First Corinthians 16 that does not talk about the collection. So what is he referring
He's
to?
talking about collection. All right, interpret. Okay.
So the question says, First Corinthians 16 verse 1 to 2 is not talking about the Lord's Day giving. So then what exactly is that passage talking about? So then the church is saying it's talking about giving.
Turn to Romans chapter 15. From verse 25 to 27. Yes, the collection is meant for the poor saints in Jerusalem. And that is why Paul said, now concerning the collection for the saints, as I've given order to the churches of Galatians, so you must do. Verse 3, and when I come, whomsoever you approve by your letters, I will send to bear your gift to Jerusalem. But if it is fitting that I go also, they will go with me. It is collection for the poor saints in where? In Jerusalem. Why are we using it? We have three major works of the church: edification, evangelism, and benevolence. One of the work of the church is to do the work of benevolence either to other congregations or within our own members. If we have an order how to collect money to do benevolence for one of the three works of the church, and there's no other command, other way to collect for other two works of the church, it is become evident that this is the only way we can raise money for the tripartite work of the church. Either for evangelism, either for edification, either for benevolence. This is the only way we can raise money. From this collection now, if there is a problem in Ibadan, from this collection you can send to them. For your evangelism, from this money you can do it. For edification, from this you can do it. Since this is the only method we can read the scripture to raise money for one of the work of the church, it becomes imperative that all the work of the church is raised through money collected upon the first day of the week. But where the scriptures, if you want to go for evangelism, how do you raise the money? Not forsaking the assembly. That requires that you need a meeting place. How do you raise the money? It's not mentioned. This is the only way that points to us that we can raise money for the work of the church. Thank you. Next one.
You said we should give without expecting returns. Yes. It says, "He give more than we give, pressed down and shaking together." So this gives a sense of whatever I give, God will surely bless. Does this mean that our blessings do not come immediately, but there are blessings attached to giving? But are there blessings attached to giving?
Of course. Even when we read that Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1. You sow in hope. Yes, you sow in hope. You don't sow with the mind that I'm going to reap it immediately. It could be possible that you reap immediately, and it is possible you don't reap immediately.
Ṣéṣe kí a má tún rere náà lójú ẹsẹ̀ bá ṣe
It's
ìyàwó.
like talking of how does God answers our prayer.
Jàmbá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bí Ọlọ́run bí ó ṣe ń gbọ́ àdúrà wa.
God answers our prayers in 3 ways.
Ọlọ́run dá àdúrà wa ní ọ̀nà mẹ́ta.
God can say yes.
Ọlọ́run lè ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
He can ask you to wait,
Ó tún lè sọ pé kí o dúró.
and he can say no.
Ó tiẹ̀ lè sọ pé tó ń béèrè yẹn kò sí tó jọ.
And we have the 3 examples in the Bible.
Sì rí àpẹẹrẹ ọ̀nà àdúrà mẹ́ta yìí nínú Bíbélì.
Hezekiah prayed unto God,
Hezekiah gbàdúrà sí Ọlọ́run.
and immediately God answered him.
Ọlọ́run sì
Go
dá
and tell my servant Hezekiah.
pé lọ sọ fún ìránṣẹ́ mi Hezekiah.
All right? David prayed unto God. He said, I will patiently wait unto the
Dáfídì
Lord.
gbàdúrà sí Ọlọ́run. Ó sì ní èmi yóò dúró de Ọlọ́run.
Jesus prayed, and it
Jésù
was not
gbàdúrà.
answered. Those are the 3 ways.
Ọlọ́run dá àdúrà Jésù gan.
So when you give,
Tí o bá gbàdúrà, tí o bá fi sílẹ̀.
2 Corinthians chapter 9, let's read.
Ìwé Kọ́ríńtì Kọ́ríńtì kejì orí kẹsàn-án
Verse 8,
ẹsẹ̀ kẹjọ.
7 and 8. So let each one give as he purposes in his heart, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. Verse 8. And God is able to make all blessing abound towards you, that you always will have all in sufficiency things, and you may have abundance to every good work. All right? So there's blessing attached to it.
Ṣé ìbùkún wà fún ìfún?
And that is why he said in that verse 6, he who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. So there's not blessing.
Wípé ìbùkún wà nínú rẹ̀ tí ẹ bá fún ni kíún, ẹ ó rí kíún gbà. Tí ẹ bá sì fún ni púpọ̀, ẹ ó rí púpọ̀ gbà.
But what we are trying to want you to guide against is this.
Ohun tí a fẹ́ kí a yẹra fún òwa nílé yìí.
Don't tempt God by saying, let me try him for this month and next month.
Pé ní oṣù yìí mo fẹ́ dán Ọlọ́run wò bóyá yóò tiẹ̀ jẹ lọ.
That is dangerous.
Eléyìí léwu gidigidi.
Yes. You give and you expect that God is going to bless you. When the blessing will come, you don't what? You don't know. That's all. But it will come.
Ọlọ́run kò wá wò pé ìbùkún ó pọ̀ lójú ẹsẹ̀.
It will come.
Ọlọ́run ni ó sọ ìgbà tí yóò wá.
You are not the one to decide for him.
Kì í ṣe ìwọ ló sọ pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ wá lọ́sẹ̀ tí máa fi lè fún ọjọ́ Sunday.
So you are not the one to decide for him. You just do it by faith.
Ó ṣe pẹ̀lú ìgbàgbọ́.
And you will receive the blessing.
Ó sì rí ìbùkún náà gbà.
Next one.
What about giving monthly once in order to give proportionally and not to have spent part of the money for anything else?
Very good. That's your choice.
Ilé ìjẹ́ ìpinnu rẹ.
You have fulfilled your righteousness.
Ó ti pa òdodo mọ́.
There are people who do that.
Aláwọ̀ tó ń ṣe léyìí bákan náà.
They don't want to be tempted.
Wọ́n fẹ́ yàgò fún ìdánwò.
The moment they receive their salary, they give once.
Tọ́ bá ti lè gba owó oṣù wọn, ẹ̀kan náà ni wọ́n yọ.
You know, there are congregations that every month they will work out the average collection per week. It still means the same thing.
Ní gbogbo ìparí oṣù, àwọn ìjọ fún àtẹkùn máa ń ṣe ìpàdé iṣẹ́ ìjọ tí wọ́n sì ṣe ìṣirò gbogbo tí ó wọlé lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀.
Whether you give it once or you give it week by week, it will still reflect.
Yóò ṣàwọnú àpòjọ.
And there are some who can discipline themselves. They will divide it into 4 or 5, and each Sunday, first Sunday of the week, they bring their giving to God. Whichever you do is okay. Yes. Next one.
Thank you for the great teaching, sir. My question: what can you say about brethren's loyalty to a particular congregation? Okay, many brethren believe if they worship with another congregation where they have not placed their membership, they have to reduce the amount they give because they do not have the obligation to be loyal to that congregation.
I agree with that. Yes. Yes. When a church is making a budget,
it
places the budget upon you members.
You
cannot place your budget on me. I'm not a member here. I'm a visitor. anything I give is an addition to your own budget.
Ohunkóhun tí mo bá fi sílẹ̀ fún yín gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìjọ agbègbè yìí.
My loyalty is to my congregation. My loyalty.
Òótọ́ mi.
Yes. Because it was there the record that Isaac is a member.
So ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti mọ̀ mí pé arákùnrin Isaac ara ni wọ́n.
Like in my congregation now, every year we draw a budget and we have a target for weekly giving.
Ní gbogbo ìparí ọdún náà máa ṣe ìṣúná, a ó sì ní iye tá a retí pé kí ó wọlé ní gbogbo ọ̀sẹ̀.
Every
ní ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀
week we expect to have between 80 and 100,000.
A tó gbé bóyá iye ìwọ̀n tí ó gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí.
And upon that, we are going to plan the work of the church.
Ibẹ̀ ni a ti gbé iṣẹ́ ìjọ lé lórí.
How then will I fail to contribute my quota to the growth of that local church?
Màá ti wá gbowó oṣù tí ó wà ní pé mò ń kó lọ sí ìjọba.
How will I now leave that? Pela kwata. Pela kwata. All right? So your loyalty should be here.
So òtítọ́ mi gbọ́dọ̀ mọ ní ìjọ àgbè ni.
Your evangelism should be here.
Ìjáde ojúlé bí náà ló gbọ́dọ̀ mọ.
It is here that you are registered. People should feel your impact when you are here.
Ibi tí a ti mọ̀ ní a ti gbọ́dọ̀ mọ rírì rẹ láàrin wa.
So you don't plan on people that are not your members.
Ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ gbé ìṣúná yín lórí àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe ara yín.
So if you have a visitor, he has not given as is expected, and he does his giving where fine. I know brethren, even when they are traveling, they will drop their giving to somebody or transfer it. So whatever they have, they give wherever they go. Yes. And I know some brethren, whether they travel for 2 weeks, when they come, it will reflect in their giving. They will put everything together. Yes. That is how it should be. Yes. Next one.
I want to ask questions under those who we are to give to. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 6, which says we should give to those who teach us.
Yes.
So is it only teachers, preachers, or not only preachers? Please clarify it.
Yes. That passage talks much about preacher. You know, we have teachers in the church who are raised by the church. But you have somebody who is laboring in the world. That is why you have employed him. That is what he does. That is his work. He prepare lessons for you midweek on Sunday, plan and feed you. Where others have gone to their places of work, you see him on the field preaching. It is your duty to communicate back to him in all good things. You know, in the dimensional world, you see the way they treat their so-called pastors. And that is missing in our midst. That is why none of our youth want to become a preacher. It's because the way you are treating them. There are, in my hands now, I have about 4 or more congregations who are looking for preachers. Who want to preach? How much do you pay a preacher? A prayer was conducted in one congregation one day. I was there at Badagry. The brother was asked to lead in the closing prayer. He said, God, let all our children be doctors. Let them be lawyers. Let them be engineers. The brother now asked him after the prayer, why not say let them be preachers? Because you don't respect preachers, you don't pay them. It's affecting us. It's affecting the work. We need to rise up
A gbọ́dọ̀ jí dìde.
and treat preachers very well.
Kí á sì tọ́jú àwọn oníwàásù tó ṣe jẹ́.
We've seen places where members will look at a preacher, give him a pair of shoes, buy him clothes, bring food to his house. That is how it's supposed to be.
A rí àwọn ìjọ àgbẹ̀ tó yẹ pé wọ́n ro oúnjẹ fún oníwàásù, wọ́n ra aṣọ fún oníwàásù, wọ́n sì gbé àwọn nǹkan tí ó yẹ tí ó tọ́ fún oníwàásù.
When you are eating, ask yourself, is my preacher eating?
Tẹ́ bá ti gbé oúnjẹ lẹ̀ láàárọ̀ lèyí, kẹ́ bèrè pé sóníwàásù mi só ti di tí ó jẹ láàárọ̀ yìí.
That is what Galatians chapter 6 verse 6 is talking about.
Orí kẹfà ẹsẹ̀ kẹfà sọ nílé.
We should appreciate. The Bible says those who preach gospel should live by the gospel.
Ìbéèrè ní àwọn tí ó ń wàásù wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ máa jẹ nídìí pẹpẹ.
So preachers are ready to work, but you are not ready to employ him or to support him.
Wàásù ṣe tán láti ṣiṣẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n ò ṣe tán láti.
Look at your number here now.
Ẹ wo iye àwọn tẹ̀wà níbí láwùrọ̀ yìí.
If you have 2 preachers, they cannot finish the work that is in this place.
Tí ẹ bá ní oníwàásù méjì, wọn ò lè parí iṣẹ́ tí ó wà nínú ìjọ ìtàn.
All right? So if you employ a preacher and you supported him very well, all his mind will be here to work for you, to visit you, to preach from house to house. That is the work of a preacher.
Oníwàásù ní owó tí ó tọ́, yóò ṣe tán láti ṣiṣẹ́ tó dára láàrin yín, yóò ṣiṣẹ́ ìwàásù ojúlé ní ojúlé, yóò ṣe onírúurú iṣẹ́
That
tí ẹ
is
lérò.
what that passage is saying. He who teaches you, communicate back to him in all good things.
Ṣé tí ó bá ń kọ́ ni ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa ṣe fún padà nínú gbogbo òrèrè gbogbo.
The only place where I saw that being done, at least to some extent, is in the east.
Tí mo ti gbọ́ ti ṣe eléyìí dáradára, dáàyè gan òun náà ní ilẹ̀ Ìgbò.
This time we traveled to Akwa Ibom to go and preach.
Nígbàkúùgbà tí a bá lọ sí Akwa Ibom láti lọ wàásù.
When the preacher housed us,
Nígbà tí oníwàásù bá pọ̀ wá sílé,
you will see members, plantain, yam, vegetables, all kinds of fruits will be loaded, for the preachers. But do we do the same thing here? You don't care whether he eats or not. Let us change our attitude. That is why some churches don't have preachers up to today. Because they are not prepared to take care of it. Yes. Yes.
So what about you give to someone, I mean to the needy, but the person feel or see it as mocking? So what should I do?
Yeah. Ask, it shall be given unto you.
Béèrè, a ó sì fi fún ọ.
If a man does not ask, do I need to give to him?
Tí èèyàn bá béèrè, ṣé ẹ ká fún bí?
So if he asks and you give, he will not mock you.
Ẹni tí ó béèrè tẹ̀sí fún kò sí ẹ̀yẹ tó fẹ́ ṣe.
But I've seen an example of somebody.
Mo ti rápẹ̀rẹ̀ nìkan.
He went to a brother.
Ó lọ bá arákùnrin.
Ask.
Ó béèrè.
And the brother gave him what he has.
Ẹni wá béèrè, ó fún ní nǹkan tí ó ní.
And he said, with
all this heavy clothes, you should be able to give me more than this.
The brother said, please bring the one I gave to you. It means it's not appreciative. Did you work in his hands? No. Whatever is given to you, let us appreciate it. And if somebody feels that he does not want to take from you, they don't. There are other people who are in need. Give it to them. Give to somebody that will appreciate that. Not someone who will not appreciate it. All of us should be willing to give. So whatever, no matter how little, that is given to you, let us appreciate it. Right? I think we are stopping here. We said we should not take any question again. Thank you very much for your attention. God bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen.